in Roselle. Summer is here, which is the ideal time to let the sunshine in and brighten up the house. Make those rooms that may appear small, dark, or dingy look better and bigger with larger windows or patio doors. Our highly skilled installers can enlarge openings if your space allows. For decades, Woodland has been transforming living spaces with Marvin windows, featuring styles ranging from modern to traditional. Marvin replacement windows and doors can also bring your backyard right into your living space. Ask us about connecting the inside to the outside. Since 1969, our professional services, along with the best products and installation, are why we are proud of our great online reviews. Need new windows now? Buy now, pay later with 0% financing for 18 months. Terms and conditions apply. Visit woodlandwindows.com and schedule an appointment today. That's woodlandwindows.com.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel, home to the biggest shows on TV, like Brandon Tatum weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, followed by Charlie Kirk at 7. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free, now on Zumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Zumo.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, it's a story that's gaining national attention. Is boiling water considered a weapon? We'll explain. And I want to get your take because it happened in the county that you used to work in.
You will.
As a police officer. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
4 pedestrians and a CPD squad car were struck by a stolen vehicle in the Brighton Park neighborhood this morning and investigating huge increases in Cook County taxes. An investigation is also underway after a deadly triple shooting in Chicago's Lawndale neighborhood. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
She's running at full speed. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Vice President Harris, already the presumptive Democratic nominee, quickly getting enough pledged delegates after President Biden dropped out Sunday.
It is my great honor to have Joe's endorsement in this race.
You sure do.
That's it. What was Biden campaign headquarters in Delaware, and the president called in to thank everyone.
I know it's hard because you poured your heart and soul into me to help us win this thing, help me get this nomination.
It's the first we've heard from the president since last Wednesday when he got COVID and went to isolate at his beach house. Former President Trump's calling Harris dumb as a rock. His running mate, J.D. Vance, said at a rally in Virginia the vice president is more extreme than President Biden and was his border czar.
Remember, on her very first day in office, she and Biden suspended deportations. They stopped construction of the border wall, and they re-implemented catch and release. The border crisis is a Kamala Harris crisis.
Former President Trump tells Fox he and Vance had an automatic chemistry, and he again discussed the assassination attempt 10 days ago.
Who would have thought this was going to be happening? But it happened, and I got very lucky. Or God. I think it was God, actually.
Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle spent hours at a House hearing, peppered with questions about security lapses at that Trump rally.
The Secret Service's solemn mission is to protect our nation's leaders. On July 13th, we failed.
And Fox's Brooke Singman reports.
The Secret Service boss admits authorities saw the gunman on the roof 18 minutes before Trump stepped on the stage. And now several lawmakers are calling on her to resign, including Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna.
Would you agree that this is the most serious security lapse since President Reagan was shot in 1981 of the Secret Service?
Yes, sir, I would.
A different committee holds another hearing into the assassination attempt today. America's listening to Fox News.
The world of business.
68 degrees in Chicago at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. 4 pedestrians and a CPD squad car were hit by a stolen vehicle in the Brighton Park neighborhood this morning. Officers were conducting a traffic stop involving a stolen vehicle around 11:30 when police say the driver reversed and hit that squad car along West 46th Street. The driver then struck 2 other cars along with 4 pedestrians. South suburban residents are confronting the Cook County tax assessor about dramatic property tax increase.
I feel like it's almost a conspiracy for all of us people of color to possibly lose our property.
Assessor Fritz Kagi blames school districts and business reassessments for the tax hikes. Property tax bill payments are due on August 1st. 1 person is dead following a fire in Buffalo Grove. The blaze broke out in a garage attached to the home in the 600 block of Wood Hollow Lane. An investigation is underway following a deadly triple shooting in Chicago. Police say 3 men were near the backyard of a home last night in the 4100 block of West Cermak when someone shot them. A crowd of postal workers rallied Monday in Chicago demanding action from elected leaders. Union members from the National Association of Letter Carriers said violence against workers on the job needs to stop. Union leader Mac Julian laid out the problem for Chicago residents.
And though we take pride in our jobs, if we are not safe, you will not get mail.
Workers are demanding more police protection. There have been at least 140 attacks on postal carriers in the Chicago area in recent years. Cubs silenced the Brewers 3-1 to win their series opener at Wrigley. Drew Smyly earning the win in relief. White Sox lost to the Rangers in 10, 4-3. And this morning there's trouble in Green Bay. Packers quarterback is officially holding out. Jordan Love will not be at practice during training camp as he seeks a new deal. The news service of Turnkey.pro. Turnkey will fully protect your network with up-to-date cyber protection, unlimited backup, unlimited 24/7 help desk support, and real-time threat hunting for less than the price of a monthly car payment. Protect your small business today. Visit Turnkey.pro. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Charlie Kirk was witness to something powerful.
I mean, you think about it, this is a guy who 48 hours prior was shot. But there he is with the bandage, walking up, and there seemed to be a different vibe with President Trump, almost like a reflective. Even Chris Wallace on CNN, he said this was one of the most powerful moments in a convention he's seen in his entire reporting career.
The Charlie Kirk Show. Afternoons at 1, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Durkin, founding partner of the Martech Group, a global market research firm based in Chicago since 1985 and a longtime customer of Signature Bank. When our business moved to our current Loop location, I recall seeing Mick O'Rourke and his 2 business partners, Brian Duncan and Kevin Vestuga, laying the foundation for Signature Bank. When Signature opened its doors in 2006, I was proud to move our accounts there and become a shareholder. Being in the consulting business, the Martech Group has a keen understanding of the value of relationships, trust, and attentiveness. Whether dealing with our U.S. practice or our international operations, Signature Bank is always there when we need them. That's why the Martech Group is proud to have Signature Bank as a valued business partner.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
Come on with this, people. Move it!
Did you really think you could make that company deliver yourself?
Oh, I cannot handle any more traffic.
You could be getting much more done at your place of business.
I've wasted 45 minutes and now this place is gonna close.
Time is money. Let Quick Delivery Service take on the traffic hassle for you. They'll deliver almost anything, from large pallets of materials to important documents, or both. No forms, no labels, no scanning. Just tell Quick Delivery Service where it's going, they'll pick it up, and get it to your destination quickly. Your cargo delivery is tracked in real time with GPS. Notifications are delivered right to your inbox. Visit QuickDelivery.com. That's QuickDelivery.com. Or you can deliver like this.
Seriously, another train?
Or get your delivery there on time with QuickDelivery.com. Or call 847-534-2244. 847-534-2244.
.608, let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is the service of Blue Star Security. Support our police and hire the police to personally protect you and your business. Visit online to schedule a free security consultation. BlueStarSecurityLLC.com. Plainfield this morning. Multi-vehicle accident. Route 126 just east of Route 59, tying up that intersection. Tri-State, an accident with a right lane block southbound right before Stearns School Road. Dan Ryan Express lanes coming inbound, already on the brakes, 47 up through the Chinatown feeder. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's Steve Williams.
Sun and clouds today. Thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. The high 86. Partly cloudy, humid, shower and thunderstorm mainly early tonight. Could see some downpours. Low tonight 67. Partly sunny, scattered thunderstorms for tomorrow. The high 78. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
69 at O'Hare, 70 at Midway, and 62 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Is boiling water a weapon? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Good morning, by the way. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony for Dan Proft. So we have a situation that happened in Springfield.
Yeah.
And it was slowly percolating because I talked to you about it earlier this week. I said, hey, did you see that shooting, that police officer involved shooting in Springfield? And I thought of you because you used to work in that county.
Right. Well, well, not as a sheriff's deputy. I mean, I was there as a state rep. Kendall County is where I was a deputy.
Okay.
Yeah, but I knew a lot of the deputies and Springfield coppers down there, though.
All right, so this is what happened in the early morning hours. 36-year-old Sonia Massey, she's black, mother of two. She called 911 because she thought there was a prowler on her property. When they showed up, this is what happened at the front door. She was in her pajamas.
Please God, I'm trying to get help, y'all, but
what do you need help with?
Nothing. I just, please God, please. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. She did tell deputies that she did take her medication.
Yeah, she sounded lethargic.
Yeah, she sounded out of it. So then she moved over to the kitchen area. It looked like a studio apartment. Moved over to the kitchen area and asked Officer or Sheriff's Deputy Grayson, can I move this water? And
I think they said to her, we don't want you to have a fire something like that to that.
Oh,
nature.
burning on the stove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pot of boiling water that was on the stove.
So she moved over there to, I don't know if they thought she was going to turn off the oven but this is what happened. This is the body cam footage, not from Grayson, because Grayson did not have his body cam on.
Policy
This is
violation.
from his partner.
And then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right there, maybe?
They asked her for her ID.
Check on her.
Let me look at this.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot! Drop the
15 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the pot! Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to female. 1078.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
No, you headshot. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God. Yeah, I'm not taking boiling water in the head. And look, it came right to our feet, too. God damn it.
God.
You good?
I'm good. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. What's she got? Let her just... God. Is that what you do, man? You good? All right. Well, I mean, you know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to the face, and it already reached us.
They got a 52 en route?
Yeah, 1078. She's still breathing, but she's losing a lot of blood from the head.
And if you watch, I mean, we're going to stop there because they're talking about the bleeding, but, you know, they wrapped it up.
No, she had boiling water and came at me with boiling water. You shot her? Yeah. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment. Her funeral was on Friday. Next to the family at the funeral was attorney Ben Crump, who's compared this crime as startling, he says, as the 1955 lynching of Chicago teenager Emmett Till in Mississippi, the Chicago police shooting of Laquan McDonald, and the Minneapolis police murder of George Floyd. Okay, here's her father, James Wilburn.
You always get the same thing, these platitudes from people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have my prayers and my sympathy. But you know what I want? I want justice for my baby. This man should have never had a badge. He should have never had a gun. He should have never been given the opportunity to kill my child.
He has been charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. He's been fired from his job as well.
Yeah.
312-642-5600. One of my dearest friends in the world texted me, Amy, they killed this woman, period. They were standing 20 plus feet away from her. She was not a threat to them. She said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and they shot and killed her. She called them for help and lost her life because they were poorly trained, eager to kill, or just idiots.
Yeah, I love your friend Lois, but that's not what I saw. First of all, I mean, to lose a life is tragedy, Amy, and this woman should still be alive today. That's just the reality of it. Your question was, is a pot of boiling water a weapon? Yeah.
It is?
Can it cause great bodily harm if that hot boiling water hits that officer? If she
more so than a big gulp could hurt Kim Fox.
Exactly. Hot boiling water can cause great bodily harm to anybody. You throw hot boiling water on somebody, you're gonna scar them. There's gonna be some, I don't know what the 3rd, 4th degree burns. There will be burns if you throw water. This happened so fast, and it was more like 5 to 10 feet that she was. I mean, she was really close to him.
Well,
you couldn't see when she ducked because she had so much stuff on her countertop. You couldn't see if she dropped the pot right away, because he said she stepped towards her. I didn't see that. I didn't see her stepping towards him. I did not see that at all.
And one thing that he said in that 2 minutes and 38 seconds clip that we played for you, that she had already dropped some water at his feet.
Well,
but he was standing on the other side of the counter, so
that water can still hot water hurts. You ever burned yourself on hot water?
Oh, I've been
hot water hurts, and again, for her to lose her life, and they both saw the threat because they both of the officers drew their weapons.
Right.
But
I think that they didn't give her enough time to put the pot of water down.
Well, if what I wasn't there, I didn't see what neither one of the officers.
But you've
saw.
seen the body cam video.
Yeah, but did you see the things that were in the way where you couldn't see if she stepped towards them? Because if she stepped towards them with that hot, I want to see more. And there's not enough body footage to say that she stepped towards them. Could he have retreated? Yeah, but I'm Monday morning quarterback, a cop that I wasn't there. But could he have retreated, backed up, and said, "Hey, put the body, step back," and said, "Put the pot of water down"? He could have done that.
Well,
that's factual.
And this is making national news now because Biden, who we don't know where he is, but he's supposedly going to be back in D.C. today, President Biden, tweeted out about this.
Yeah.
And what was the tweet or the X?
He said, Sonia Massey, a beloved mother, friend, daughter, and young black woman should be alive today. That's true. Sonia's death at the hands of a police officer reminds us that all too often, black Americans face fears for their safety in ways many of the rest of us do not. I mean, when you look at how something was wrong with her when she kept saying, "I'll rebuke you." I mean, that's...
Well, then also, too, the way when she was confused when she answered the door.
Yeah, and then they found a vehicle. Was it on her property with the windows broken out?
I don't know.
I read a report that there was a vehicle there on her property or either on her property or near her property where the windows were broken out because she called because she said that there was a prowler. Who broke the windows out, or were they already broken out prior to the cops arriving?
Or did she break them out because she sounded like she was a little off? But Biden would never have ever have tweeted anything about that. He would never even know about this story unless it was a white officer and a black
that doesn't matter.
Person.
That doesn't fit the agenda.
Well, that's why he's talking about it.
Right, because she's black.
And now everybody, CBS network, cable, you're going to see this. Now this story's going to explode today.
Well, will this be the story that Kamala runs with too? To show that cops that cops should be defunded, that cops prey on black people. If you believe that, I got an island here. Cops don't prey. Listen,
is this a case where a social service person, a female social therapist, would have done a better job than these police officers?
I'm not a fan of that at all.
Why not?
Unless they're cops.
Okay.
I think police departments should hire more people with that background. I don't think you send people in there with
unarmed.
No, because stuff happens quickly. And if that person is in a way, that person has the potential to become a victim. I'm not a fan of that at all. Nowhere near a fan of it.
I got to tell you, when I was getting my Chicago media police credentials ID'd, upgraded, not upgraded, just renewed, there were 3 young ladies that were there, and they're doing their hair. And I said, "Oh, what news publication do you work for?" And like, "Oh no, we're the new social workers."
Oh, see,
no, wait, I'm not done yet, and I'm really doing a great job of imitating the conversation that I had, reliving it. And there was a female firefighter who was trying to turn in her badge because she was done with the city. And they were all, she's like, "Well, I'm going to make," and I said, "Well, what exactly are you going to do?" And she said, "Well, they're going to start me out. I'm going to work with police officers, family members, that have been traumatized or they have problems at home." And I said, "But then eventually they're going to train you to go out on the street for domestic hostage situations." She said, "Well, yeah, eventually." And the female firefighter, went off.
Yeah.
And she said, "Get out of here now."
Yeah.
I don't care how, and she didn't care that anybody in the office heard her. I don't care how much money they're paying you. You will die. You will get killed, and they don't care about you.
Yeah.
She's like, why am I? She's like, I'm trying to turn in my badge.
Yeah.
But she forgot some other paperwork, so they wouldn't accept her badge. She's like, because this city is blanked up.
Yep.
And you have no idea how messed up it really is.
Yep.
She said, I was suspended. And she went off, this firefighter. I was suspended during COVID.
Wow.
And then I was unsuspended. And then I lost pay and I never got my pay back. She was, because our firefighter union president was different than John Catanzara, who had a different take on it.
Exactly.
Because John Catanzara stood behind his men who didn't want to get vaccinated. She's like, I would never wanted to get vaccinated. I already had it. Why would I do it?
He did.
And she told, like, run. And this girl who just did her hair was ready to take her picture. She looked so scared. She's like, well, thanks for the support.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you should really just heed her warning.
Right.
And I said, do you have a weapon? Do you know how to shoot a weapon? She's like, oh, no, I don't. I would never have a gun.
Right.
I'm like, well, you might get a gun pointed in your face someday, lovely lady. I mean, these were young ladies, but they took the job because it tripled their salary as therapists.
6 figures, isn't it? Isn't it like 6 figures
I
plus?
mean, that's like winning the lotto when you're 20.
Yeah. You know what? If I've had situations like this, pot of boiling water, I saw a knife, I saw a weapon.
And what did you do? And
I moved towards,
Mm-hmm.
I put my body in between what I saw as the threat. Now, I would have never allowed her to get up and turn the boiling water off. I would have said, hey, listen, there's a pot of boiling water over here. I'm going to turn it off so no fire happens or anything like that. I mean, you got to use your head as a cop. You do have to use your head. But this is just, I'm sorry. You can hate me, love me. I'll call out bad policing. I didn't see bad policing. Maybe more training. I didn't see I didn't see the intent to go in there and kill this woman from that video.
So you didn't see first-degree murder, maybe?
No
involuntary manslaughter?
Didn't they charge him with manslaughter?
Yeah, no, they charged him with first-degree murder, not involuntary manslaughter.
They overcharged with these charges, in my opinion. They just overcharge.
His attorney, Grayson's attorney, didn't respond to requests for comment. Kwame Raoul, our attorney general, released a statement. The body camera footage is horrific, and I offer my deepest sympathy to Sonia Massey's family as they relive a moment no family should experience.
I agree.
I agree, too. But if you were in his shoes, so you would have turned off the water yourself.
Yeah. But that's what the secondary officers did.
But would the situation have been different because you're black and she's black? And be honest.
People thought I was white because I remember I didn't have a beard.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, I got called racist from black people because they said I was racist. Because look, I got tan right now, but
okay,
I'm really white.
So you're saying you're not really black enough?
Well, exactly. So but once I started talking, that might have put her at ease a little bit more.
Right.
But that's not always the case, Amy. I mean, if she was doped up, jacked up on something, I would love to see the toxicology reports. Did she have some mind altering experience? Because when she said she had the hot boiling water in her hand, she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." That means she about to cast out some demons. And would she have used that boiling hot water to throw
baptize
on him,
them?
to cast out the demons? I don't know. I don't know what was in her mind. I wasn't there. I didn't see what those cops saw. It's a different perspective when you're up front and close and personal looking at a situation than when you have a video to analyze and that cop made a split-second decision. Was it the right decision? We'll find out.
And I mean, Grayson, when the dad, her father, said he should never have been a police officer, and all that we never should be, on a police force anyway. All we know is that he's had 6 different jobs since 2020,
right,
with 6 different departments,
right.
But we don't know why.
Right.
I mean, and that will come out too.
That's true. Somebody just says nobody thinks you're white, pal. I wish I can go back to my sheriff's department and show some of the video when people, basically black people, called me racist, thought I was white, called me racist. Because remember, no facial hair, smooth skin, and people thought I was racist. I'm like, are you kidding me? I had a guy, I stopped on a traffic stop. He was doing 85 on the 55 on Route 52 headed west. And I stopped him, and the first thing he says, "You pulled me over because I'm black." And I looked at him, I stepped back, and I said, "I don't know if I may be a lighter shade of brown, but I'm black, bro. My mama black." And then,
what was his response?
So then I get his license and insurance, and I go back, and I wrote him a warning because I wanted to chastise him, and I went back up there. He says, "No." He said, "You know what? You just stopped me because I'm driving a BMW."
So he kept changing his story.
So I lit into him.
Next thing you know, he's going to say it's that time of the month.
I said, brother, I stopped you because you were doing 85 and the 55. I said, technically, I could arrest you if I wanted to. 30 plus miles over. And then he was like, but he was really doing like 92, 93. But I got him at when I locked it in, it was 85, but he was doing 92, 93. And when I go back up there, I lit into him. I said, I didn't stop you because you're black. I said, I stopped you because you violated the law. You're doing 85. And I said, I actually first radared you at 92, 93 miles an hour. He couldn't say anything. And I said, you know what? On top of that, here's a written warning, not a ticket. See ya. Goodbye.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Your show keeps me alive during the week. There's nobody I'd rather listen to between 5 and 9 in the morning than you guys.
On AM 560, The Answer.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging, wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
All right, Turnkey.pro. That's our Turnkey.pro answer line. And Turnkey is the best in the business, locally owned and operated. We love them. David Kolsek is the founder, president, creator of Turnkey. So if you're in business, and if you have been in business for a number of years, it's likely your company has grown in every department. You've probably added your sales team, increased your client base, and now have multiple locations. But there's one area that could stop your growth right in its tracks if not protected, and that's your network's data. As you've grown, you've likely evolved your basic network over time, putting your company at risk to cyber attacks, ones that can fold your business in just hours. You know, every day more than 30,000 websites are hacked, and 2/3 of companies globally have experienced at least one type of cyber attack. Don't be a statistic. Defend your business, your customers, your employees, your future growth with Turnkey's real-time threat hunting protection. Turnkey has the solutions to protect your business, so start a conversation today. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Guys, it's summer and time to do more outdoors, but do you feel out of energy, lacking motivation and mental focus? It could be low testosterone. Low T affects millions of men, and it happens naturally. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy at Low T Center. It starts with a quick test, and the results are fast. Don't wait. Take control of your health. And now Low T Center is offering a free initial test. So if you're over 30, schedule a visit at lowtcenter.com today. That offer is good until July 31st. lowtcenter.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have jewelry with sentimental value that needs repairing? Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I'm a customer of family-owned Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville because it's a place I trust. Their in-house master jeweler does impeccable work, and jewelry comes back repaired in perfect condition and looks the same as the day you bought it. It's a great feeling. Roland's also specializes in custom design. They'll work with you every step of the way to make your dream jewelry idea come to life. The Rollins family is expertly trained to give you outstanding customer service, earning 5-star Google ratings. Now that's impressive. Visit Rollins Jewelers' beautiful showroom in downtown Libertyville for all of your jewelry needs. Visit RowlandsJewelers.com. That's ROLLANDS Jewelers.com, or call or text them at 847-918-7300. 847-918-7300. Rollins Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, let's quickly take Dave and Racine. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Good morning. Just a thought.
A root beer beverage is considered an attempted murder weapon, but a pot of boiling water does not cause great bodily harm?
Exactly.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the director of the Secret Service. Whoa. Public enemy number one from the left and the right. Wow, stonewalling at its finest. We'll start there with attorney William Jacobson. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
68 degrees. That's 6:31 on AM 560, The Answer. Former President Trump says mistakes were made at his Pennsylvania rally that ended with an attempted assassination. Trump thinks Democrats kept President Biden's condition under wraps, as well as he met with Fox News last night.
You had people that lied to the American public. And I tell you what, you ought to take a look at his doctors, because his doctors keep giving him this wonderful report. I'm not a doctor, but I saw him the other day, was unable to get up the children's stairs going into Air Force One.
Trump was joined by his VP pick, J.D. Vance, on Fox News. Vance saying if Democrats think Joe Biden can't handle the campaign, then he cannot handle the presidency.
If Joe Biden can't run for president, he can't serve as president. And if they want to take him down because he's mentally incapable of serving, invoke the 25th Amendment.
This morning, Vice President Kamala Harris has enough delegates to receive the official Democrat presidential nomination. Vice President Harris is on the attack against Donald Trump in her first on-camera campaign event. We get more from our reporter, Mark Mayfield.
She told her staff she will gladly put her record against Trump. She said as a former prosecutor, she went after sex offenders, then noted Trump was found liable in a sexual assault case. She was on a speakerphone with President Biden, who said leaving the 2024 race was the right thing to do. This is the first time the country has heard from Biden since his exit, and the first time Harris spoke publicly about the 2024 race. I'm Mark Mayfield.
It's been 10 days since a would-be assassin nearly killed former U.S. President Donald Trump at a Pennsylvania rally, but lawmakers yesterday seemed to be putting the blame on the firearm. Fox's Eben Brown.
As U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle sat through a congressional grilling on Monday about former President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania, certain members of Congress took the opportunity to criticize the firearm used to try killing a president. Maryland Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin.
We have to find the courage and resolve to pass a ban on the AR-15 and other assault weapons.
The gunman used a semi-automatic rifle, but someone shooting even a bolt-action hunting rifle like a .30-06 would have been able to make that shot. Eben Brown, Fox News.
U.S. House leaders are calling on CrowdStrike CEO George Kurtz to testify before Congress about the cybersecurity company's role in sparking the widespread tech outage that grounded flights, knocked banks, and hospital systems offline. 4 pedestrians and a Chicago police squad car were struck by a stolen vehicle in the Brighton Park neighborhood late Monday night around 11:30. Officers were conducting a traffic stop on that stolen vehicle when the driver reversed, struck the squad car, then hit 2 other cars and 4 pedestrians. 1 person is dead following a fire in Buffalo Grove. The blaze broke out in a garage attached to a home in the 600 block of Wood Hollow Lane. And a Calumet Park man is charged with attempted murder following a shooting on the Dan Ryan. Ulysses Burns was arrested following the incident that happened Sunday near 73rd. Investigators revealing a 7-year-old boy was wounded by gunfire after shots were fired at that vehicle in a road rage incident. And 2 are dead after a plane went down near the EAA AirVenture site near Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Office says the small plane went down in a farm field and burst into flames. Chicago sports. Cubs silenced the Brew Crew 3-1 to take the series opener at Wrigley Field. White Sox lost to the Rangers 4-3-10. The Bears continue training camp today at Hallis Hall. The news a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations, combining heritage and innovation in every cup. Hot air roasted locally and cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Online at papanicholas.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you claim to stand for unity,
An already unprecedented election season.
you need to do more
than just use the word.
just got even more complicated.
I'm never going to drop out, and now I'm dropping out.
As Kamala Harris prepares to become the Democratic nominee.
I'd vote for Kamala.
There's an incredible bench in the Democratic Party.
29 days until they have to make a decision on a nominee.
What happens next happens here.
Kamala Harris, not a fan.
On your election station.
I don't think Kamala has a chance to beat Trump.
AM 560. The Answer.
When you're in chronic pain, you're miserable to be around, and so are the people who have to watch you suffer. So stop it. Do something about it. Now's the time to be proactive and take care of yourself. And there's another solution other than surgery or drugs. Call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, they have a cutting-edge treatment that revitalizes your joints with your body's own healing process. So if you have arthritis or if you're in pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, back due to an injury, you need to call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation and get your life and mobility back. You know, I've been to one of their clinics. I met a few of their customers. They were smiling from ear to ear, so happy to have their mobility back, pain-free, without surgery. They have locations all across the Chicagoland area, including new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Call for a free consultation, 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955, 312-809-5955.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
6:38. Let's check the roads in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center, a service of Lowe's. Select major appliances at the Lowe's closeout event, but hurry. These deals are too good to last because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Eden's a heavy 35 already, Lake Cook Road to the junction. The Kennedy at 51 and climbing into the Burns Circle interchange. The Ike rolling at 45, 390 to the old post office. Slow traffic on the Dan Ryan inbound between the Bishop Ford 57 split and 79th. 8094 accident right lane block between Burnham to past Calumet Avenue is your delay this morning. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Clouds and sun with a thunderstorm in spots by the afternoon. High 86. Currently 68. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Don't waste my time, woman. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony and for Dan Proft.
Hey.
Did you see that?
No, who said that?
No, I'm saying that because the Secret Service director went to D.C. to testify before the committee. What did we learned nothing. It was a complete waste of time.
The assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump on July 13th is the most significant operational failure of the Secret Service in decades. I take full responsibility for any security lapse of our agency.
And I have to tell you, Democrats and Republicans are united for the first time in a while about their disdain for her lack of, well, not just the fact that she stonewalled every question that they asked, but she doesn't know what she's doing on her job.
The lack of answers and the lack of report is just simply not something that we can accept here.
Because Donald Trump is alive, and thank God he is, you look incompetent. If Donald Trump had been killed, you would have looked culpable.
You need to resign.
You're full of today. You're just being completely dishonest.
You should be fired immediately and go back to Garden Doritos.
Go back to Garden because she worked at PepsiCo. Jim Jordan.
Were you guessing or lying when you said you didn't turn down requests from President Trump's detail?
Neither, sir, and I appreciate the question.
And Democrats, why hasn't anybody been fired? It has been more than a week now, and no heads have rolled.
You're prepared to fire the people on the ground who made poor decisions that day.
I'm prepared to take the actions necessary.
No, that's nonsense.
I love it. They called her out. That's nonsense. And that was just the beginning. But she never answered any questions. With more on this, let's welcome back to the program our good friend, William Jacobson, clinical professor of law and director of the Securities Law Clinic at Cornell Law School and founder of legalinsurrection.com. Good morning, Mr. Jacobson. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. So did you waste any of your precious time watching that debacle on the Hill yesterday?
I've watched some of it. I've seen even more clips of it. And I was hoping to wake up this morning and find out she'd resigned or been fired. But according to the Twitter, that hasn't happened yet. But she certainly deserves to be fired.
But Biden could fire her right now, but he hasn't done that yet. Do you know why? Or they just don't want to take any attention away from Kamala Harris's big announcement?
That could be it, but remember how she got appointed. She got appointed because she was very close to Jill Biden. So she had been on Jill Biden's detail when Joe Biden was the vice president. And there were news reports at the time of the appointment that she was being pushed very heavily by Jill Biden. So she has a personal connection to the person who's probably actually been running the country the last 2 years, which is Jill Biden. And so I think that might be part of it, too, that there's a personal connection there.
Well, and it's what we did find out because I watched for a while. Then I just, that the radio wasn't working, that she didn't review the plan. She didn't go to the site. The comment that she made that the roof was sloping, she tried to walk that back. And she wanted to go to Aspen for that makers convention thing instead of being instead of going to the RNC. But then after the assassination attempt, she did go to the RNC. Do you know why she's not resigning? I mean, have you ever seen such craziness?
As I watched her and as I've seen even more clips of her, the image that came to my mind was Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that she appears to be somebody who is not used to having her authority questioned. And she would just have these blank stares at people, these scowls at people, very disconcerting. And that's what came across. I think she is somebody who has, been in power, achieved her life goal of being director of the Secret Service, and she does not appreciate all this criticism, and that's what it came across as.
To be fair to her, there was a time when you're doing when it's an ongoing investigation, you don't release the particulars of the case. I'm a former cop. You don't release particulars of case, but in this new age, everybody wants information right now. You really can't do an effective investigation. Now, what should have happened, and this is my question for you, William, why wasn't somebody from the FBI there who could have answered some of those particular questions? Why didn't they invite that person to that committee hearing?
Yeah, well, let's keep in mind this was a very public event, okay, a presidential, nominee. This was, or presumptive nominee at that point. It was, the shooter is dead, okay? Yeah. So you're not going to be prosecuting him. I mean, you know better than I do, but a lot of times the reason you don't release information is you don't want to jeopardize the prosecution.
Correct. Well, that's true.
There's going to be no prosecution.
There's no prosecution. Yeah. Right.
Well, that we know of.
Well, what about his father? I mean, apparently from a number of reports, the weapon belonged to his father, not to him. Could he face charges?
I think that's a hard one. There was a case, I forget where it was.
Oh, Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Or Highland Park, the parade shooting, the 4th of July shooting.
Where somebody was, I think parents were convicted. I don't necessarily understand the legal theory there unless you're a participant in it. And whether that holds up on appeal, we'll see. So there are legal theories that could make the parents potentially liable, but I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, but I think the difference is, in that case, the parents didn't call the police to let them know. This case, the parents notified law enforcement that he had left the house with the weapon. So that kind of clears them from any wrongdoing in that matter.
But normally you have, people staked and camped out in front of the parents' house to hear from them. I mean, we've only heard a smattering from some people who went to high school with him. They said he was bullied, which is not an excuse to try and kill a president. But where's the daily press conferences? Where's the daily updates? It's as if the mainstream media wants to move on and focus on something else. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think that's right. And they moved on, and now they're focused on getting Kamala Harris elected president. That's what they're most concerned about. It is truly astounding that this assassination attempt has almost been memory holed by the media. If it wasn't for these hearings, I'm not sure it would be in the press anymore. It's really only the hearings is why we're talking about it, or I should say the hearing with the director. So, yeah, the media reaction would have been infinitely different if this was a Democrat candidate for president.
Well,
we would be having a national conversation, which we're not having.
Right, but if he was fatally shot, this would be a bigger deal, don't you think? But it might not be. I mean, I don't trust this government. I don't trust the media that's complicit with the government.
No, I mean, I think that there's something very wrong here. I think everybody senses something is very wrong here. None of this makes sense. Secret Service cannot be expected to be perfect, although that's their goal. And stuff happens in life that you can't prevent. But the magnitude of the disregard for Donald Trump's safety here is truly astounding.
Yeah.
It's baffling.
Yeah. So when does Cheeto either resign or Biden fire her? When does that happen?
I mean, she can't keep her job, can she?
Well, I think Biden fires her when a calculation is made that this is damaging Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. That's when she gets fired.
Yeah.
Whether she resigns under pressure before that, I can't really say. I think that if Congress moves more swiftly, I mean, there does seem to be bipartisanship. I don't think it's because the Democrats actually cared about Donald Trump. I think they know they have to be bipartisan here. They have to come out against this. But I don't think she gets fired until a calculation is made, and maybe it's been made. It just hasn't been announced that she is causing more harm to the election of Kamala Harris than they can take, and they want to put this aside.
Wow.
That's what I think. It's unfortunate, but I think it's true.
What a complete DEI hire. And I don't know if you saw, and I say that because she wanted 30% of the force females by 2030. How politicians have fun with numbers.
Yeah.
But yesterday when she walked in to the hearing, guess who was guarding her?
Who?
All men, Secret Service agents, of course. All right, William Jacobson, we're going to have to leave it there for today. Clinical professor of law and director of the Securities Law Clinic at Cornell Law School and founder of LegalInsurrection.com and president of Legal Insurrection Foundation. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacobson. We appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
What does it take for organizations to triumph? It takes trust. But trust is getting harder and harder to gain, which is why over 2,700 organizations display the ECFA seal. The ECFA seal gives your organization the third-party credibility that people are literally looking for. And in turn, an estimated 14 million givers support ECFA-accredited organizations. Let us help you maintain a trusted reputation as you reach the world for Christ. Visit ecfa.org/triumph to learn more.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With HalfPriceSchools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, HalfPriceSchools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child, too. Just go to HalfPriceSchools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit HalfPriceSchools.com. That's HalfPriceSchools.com.
Would you go to court without a lawyer when the other guy is lawyered up? Or are you going to go it alone and learn law and procedure as you go? When you have an insurance claim for your home or business, it's the same thing.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company.
Insurance companies will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them. Not you.
If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%, and we could do the same for you. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at CrosscomInc.com. That's CrosscomInc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and health care, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
It's your life, your legacy. Shouldn't it be your choice? For nearly 2 centuries, Catholic Cemetery Chicago has been a haven for families, offering sacred spaces to honor these legacies. Take an active role by pre-planning your final arrangements. Alleviate your loved ones a future financial burden. Lock in today's prices and take advantage of no-interest payments and no hidden fees. Visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, we have to make a clarification.
Yeah, well, as it relates to Kamala Harris, because it's less than 2 years of Joe Biden's term, she can actually run for another
2 terms.
2 terms, 8 years.
So
you can max up to 10 years as a president if you take over a term that somebody couldn't finish, less than 2 years.
Okay.
According to the 22nd Amendment.
Thank you for clarifying that, because you said that earlier. Yeah. That if she takes over now, she can't.
Right.
No, she wants 8 more years.
Correct.
But do we want 8 more years?
Yes.
Do we want even 1 year of that?
No.
No, we don't.
Not at all.
All right, so keeping the oxygen in the room for the assassination attempt, Mark Zuckerberg, who had the Zucker boxes that helped illegally take down. Well, it wasn't illegal at the time, but it definitely was shady.
Yeah.
These Zucker boxes. He's going to sit this one out.
Yeah, he should.
Well, I'm glad that he is. Let the people decide, not the millionaires and billionaires decide who our next president is. But he really did appreciate what Trump did after the attack.
I've done some stuff personally in the past. I'm not planning on doing that this time. And that includes, not endorsing either of the candidates. Now, look, there's obviously a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. The historic events over the weekend. And, on a personal note, it's, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, I mean, it's, you know, and I think, look, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
That's why a lot of people like the guy. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
And that's completely out of the news now because it's all Kamala.
Unbelievable.
Kamala.
Oh, wait. Oh, Justin can make a song,
Yeah,
a parody on that.
Oh,
Somebody else who's
hey,
changing.
make sure I get credit for that, though.
All right, Justin, did you hear that? We have given you a homework assignment. What?
She's a chameleon. She's a chameleon, for real.
Oh.
She'll shift and change to whatever the wind blows.
All right. Somebody else who's changing their mind, the former CEO of Home Depot, Langone. Am I pronouncing his name correct?
No idea.
Oh, come on. It's Langone. We've talked about him before, and he was so fed up with Trump that he has said on Cavuto's show that I will write my wife's name in as president.
Okay.
But now he's changing his tune. Oh, yeah.
Well, my concern with Donald Trump was, would he engage in retribution for 4 years? I think he proved that with what he had to say after Saturday night. I'm hoping and I'm expecting he's going to preach unity and come together and all the greatness of America when we work together for a cause. When America puts itself together for something, nothing stops us. What I saw Saturday night was the great World War II general by the name of McAuliffe. You remember? Mm-hmm. The Germans asked him to surrender, and he said, nuts. What Trump did on Saturday night with that fist pump.
Amazing.
For me, if I was virtually damn near dead, that close, I'd have been pleading, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. It was exactly the opposite. He wanted to go back to the podium.
Yeah. I would have never gotten up, period. No. But that proves something to you, right? And the way he's behaved since. He was never a lot of what he's the reaching out.
Yeah, and also the fact that he's going to change his speech on Thursday night to be one of unity and come together. Look, when America pulls together, no matter what of our political differences or our spiritual differences, whatever they are, when we get together, there's no stopping us.
And don't be fooled by Joe Biden stepping down. I mean, the Democrats want to badly change the subject of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump.
Yeah.
312-642-5600. Let's go to Marty quickly, who's in Naperville. Good morning, Marty.
Good morning. Real quick, two things this Cheadle is saying that is irritating is, one is I take full responsibility, which means nothing. And then she says, well, that's a good question. In other words, she's not going to answer it. And number three, why is nobody bringing up the gentleman?
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Breitbart News senior writer John Nolte joins us. But now let's head into that newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
The very latest on what Biden delegates are doing in the state of Illinois. One person is dead following a fire in Buffalo Grove. WIND Chicago News Time 7.
It only took a day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Vice President Harris is already the presumptive Democratic nominee and will hold her first rally today in Milwaukee.
Now they have coronated Kamala Harris. This is not democracy.
Republican National Committee co-chair Laura Trump, the former president's daughter-in-law, just told Fox this is not the way the process is supposed to work. Fox's Jackie Heidner reports from the Biden beach house in Delaware.
In less than 2 days after the president withdrew from this race, more than a dozen states held meetings to swing their delegates to the VP, whose candidacy also hauled in $81 million in the first 24 hours, according to her campaign. That was the largest single-day haul in presidential history. And in her first day on the trail, Harris made a trip to Wilmington to meet the team that she now leads. Biden calling in.
Let me be real clear. We're still fighting in this fight together. I'm not going anywhere.
Now, President Biden returns to the White House today after isolating in COVID recovery. Later this week, he'll meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who will address Congress about the war in Gaza tomorrow. Lawmakers in both parties calling for Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to resign over security lapses at the Trump assassination attempt. She faced hours of questions at a House hearing, saying over and over an investigation's ongoing.
Once it's concluded, you're prepared to fire the people on the ground who made poor decisions that day.
I'm prepared to take the actions necessary.
No, that's nonsense. Are you prepared to fire them?
Cheadle again refused to say yes or no, frustrating Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz.
Then how can there be accountability?
Cheadle will not be at another House hearing today into that assassination attempt. Things remain turbulent for Delta, still trying to get its systems back to normal after Friday's global tech outage that affected that airline more than any other. Delta's canceled another 400-plus flights today, 4,000 the past 4 days, 5,000 delays. America's listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News.
702, 68 degrees. On AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. 4 pedestrians and a CPD squad car were hit by a stolen vehicle in Brighton Park Monday night. Chicago police say they were conducting a traffic stop in the neighborhood on a stolen vehicle when the driver reversed and struck that squad car along with other pedestrians. One person is dead following a fire in Buffalo Grove. The blaze broke out in a garage attached to a home in the 600 block of Wood Hollow Lane. The victim pronounced dead at the scene. A crowd of U.S. postal workers rallied on Monday demanding action from elected leaders. Union members from the National Association of Letter Carriers said violence against workers on the job needs to stop.
How is this possible that people can walk up or drive up and shoot a woman that was clearly identified as a mail carrier in broad daylight, and you expect us to continue with business as usual?
Octavia Redmond was shot multiple times while on the job last Friday in the West Pullman neighborhood. Governor Pritzker is endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris to replace President Biden. The governor says Harris has proven, he believes, that she possesses skills, strength, and character. AM 560's Greg Bishop has reaction from Biden delegates around the state.
Endorsements for Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic Party's nominee continue to pour in, including from Governor J.B. Pritzker. Democratic State Representative LaShawn Ford is a Biden delegate and urged for a strong ticket. He wouldn't discount Pritzker possibly being on the ticket as a vice presidential candidate.
He's already proven that he understands how to be inclusive. He understands how to have a big tent and work with people.
As for how it plays out on the convention floor, Ford hopes there's unity for whatever ticket emerges.
Whereas individuals in our party start fighting and possibly causing looting and rioting in the streets.
Democrats from across the country meet in Chicago for their national convention beginning August 19th. I'm Greg Bishop.
Chicago sports found the Cubs silencing the Brew Crew 3-1 in the series opener at Wrigley Field. White Sox lost to the Rangers in 10, 4-3. And the team has signed Hagen Smith, their number 1 draft pick, the lefty, signing a contract yesterday with the team. The news, a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations, combining heritage and innovation in every cup. Hot air roasted locally and cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Online at papanicholas.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
News happens fast.
The former president was whisked away after gunshots rang out at his rally north of Pittsburgh.
President Biden wrote in a letter posted on social media. It says it is in the best interest of his party and the country to stand down.
When news breaks.
Best suited to assume the position of Vice President of the United States is Senator J.D. Vance.
It happens here.
I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States.
This is your breaking news and election station. AM 560, The Answer.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989 9898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax-advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
The Boston Consulting Group in Chicago, Illinois seeks a project leader/principal to manage the design and development of business strategies, including managing case team responsibilities and overseeing business development, client relationships, project planning, and the preparation of outputs. Candidates must have a master's degree or higher in business administration, management science, or a quantitative field related to a BCG client industry, plus 3 years of experience as a management consultant, business analyst, or a quantitative analyst, which must include at least 1 year in management strategy. BCG will alternatively accept a bachelor's degree in business administration, management science, or a quantitative field related to a BCG client industry, and 5 years of experience, as previously stated, which must include at least 1 year in management strategy. Partial telecommuting benefit available. Domestic or international travel is required based on company or client need. Multiple positions are available. Submit resume to bcgplp@bcg.com. Reference position number PLCHI-F24.
69 degrees at 7:07. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. 1 hour on the Kennedy into the Burns Circle interchange from O'Hare. Delays as you roll on the outbound side of the Kennedy. Slow between the Circle and Lake and Division and North Avenue. Accident on the inbound Ike right at Route 83. It's 48 minutes into the old post office this morning. They're clearing an accident inbound Stevenson right at Central. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Clouds and sun, thunderstorm around this afternoon. The high today 86. Partly cloudy, humid tonight. Shower and thunderstorm mainly early. Could see some downpours tonight, low 67. Scattered thunderstorms for tomorrow and the high 78. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
68 at O'Hare, 69 Midway, 61 in Aurora. And your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you ever feel like you're living in a dream world?
Bizarro world.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. Yeah, the last 2 nights I've been getting up at 1:30 in the morning and just trying to process what's going on.
Yeah.
How 14 million people voted for Biden. He got the nominee, presumably, got the nomination, got the delegates. And then some polls come out and they keep coming out. Like, this is not a big surprise. And they take it all, Obama and Pelosi, take it all away from him by basically saying, you could do this the hard way or you could do this the easy way, according to Politico. But it's really hard to fathom what is going on. That sounds like a dictatorship to me.
Yeah. It's a coup.
Doesn't it? You don't have you talk about the threat to democracy.
Yeah.
The Democrats are a threat to democracy. And yesterday, Kamala Harris, she had 2 events. It was her coming out party, people.
Our president, Joe Biden, wanted to be here today. He is feeling much better and recovering fast, and he looks forward to getting back on the road. And I wanted to say a few words about our president. Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history. In 1 term, he has already, yes, you may clap.
Please clap.
I am firsthand witness that every day our President Joe Biden fights for the American people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation.
They stole the election from Biden after he won in the primaries. With more on this, let's welcome back to the program John Nolte, Breitbart News senior writer and author of Borrowed Time. Good morning, Mr. Nolte. How are you?
Hi. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Anything going on in the world?
I don't know. It's like, as Justin said, we've had a week worth of news in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So how are you processing all this? Are you waking up at 1:30 in the morning too?
Yeah, you do. It's very hard not to do. I try not to do that, but in an environment like this, there's so much going on. You just want to see what's going on, and then it's an environment where the truth is one thing, and then what you read at these mainstream media sites is totally different. They're trying to just create this fantasy world. So it's definitely, we are cursed to live in interesting times.
So do you think that there will be a brokered or an open convention? Because she's already secured enough delegates to secure that, and 24 governors are now vowing to support her.
Yeah, I don't see it. They might pay lip service to it to pretend that Democrats still believe in the voters, but she's got it, and there was no way they were going to take it away from her. You just can't. They're stuck with her because she's a black woman. She was a token hire by Biden's own admission. He said he was going to choose someone based on gender and based on her skin color. And what are they going to do? Jump over her for a Hillary Clinton or an old white woman like Hillary Clinton or a white guy? They just couldn't do it. So they're pretending that this is some sort of process when it's not.
So President Trump, or former President Trump, tweeted out, they stole the race from Biden after he won it. The primaries, this is the first. These people are the real threat to democracy. And they've also done a good job, I think, the Democrats, of sucking the oxygen out of the room in regards to the assassination attempt of President Trump.
I don't think they're going to be able to do that as much as they hoped because of the cover-up that's currently happening at the Secret Service. You had what I saw yesterday, that hearing, and I almost never watch congressional hearings, but I've never seen Republicans and Democrats come together like that, just in pure disgust. So I think they might be trying to take away some of the oxygen of that, but that's going to be very difficult to do, especially with Democrats. You can see Democrats went to that hearing, wanted to talk about gun control, and then saw this woman, the Secret Service Director, Cheadle, obfuscate and lie and block. And obviously she's protecting Mayorkas. She may even be protecting a cover-up where they deliberately allowed someone in to shoot the president. And they just weren't going to stand for it. And I've never seen anything like that, at least not in the last 20 years.
Well, expound on that they may have let him in to shoot the president. What do you mean exactly?
Well, I'm at a point now where I think this government's capable of anything. They lied to us about Trump being a Russian spy. They lied to us about the laptop. They lied to us about the lab leak with COVID. They tried to put him in prison. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to remove him from the ballot. And now you look at everything that happened, everything that allowed this guy to come within a millimeter of blowing the president's brains out. And now they're telling us, the government would never hire some 20-year-old weirdo. The guy had a rangefinder. The guy had a freaking drone. So I'm not saying that's what happened, but am I suspicious? Oh, yeah, I'm very suspicious at this point because plus they just pulled a coup on the sitting president of the United States. They just stole the election from the sitting president of the United States. So no one at CNN is going to shut me up.
Amen.
Or shut Breitbart up about floating my very valid suspicions that this guy was allowed in to shoot Trump because nothing else they tried to take him out with worked. And then the moment Trump survives, the same week, Biden defeated quits. This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
God, you're making a lot of sense. And I'm the mother of a 20-year-old and a 19-year-old. The fact that he had no social media footprint, but he was, he gave donated money to Democratic cause, Act Blue, and he didn't put that on any social media sites. It's very strange. And also, too, as a former street reporter for 21 years, I can't believe that they're not camped out in front of his parents' house or having press conferences every day on this, with updates. I mean, our former president was almost assassinated. A father of two who was loved by his community, volunteer firefighter, was murdered, and 2 other people were shot, and we're just going to let that go?
Yeah, it's a total cover-up. And the Keystone cops which are the Secret Service, to Keystone Cops, which are the FBI, when it comes to everything else, man, they sure bottled this guy up quick, didn't they? They sure got rid of his social media. They sure got rid of his history. And all of a sudden, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And this whole thing stinks. So am I 100% sure that the Secret Service was in on an assassination attempt? No, but I'm suspicious as hell, and no one's going to shut me up. No one's going to shame me into not saying that by claiming it's a conspiracy theory. I mean, this thing stinks.
It does. Now, there was a report that said he had a transmitter on him too, that possibly had a bomb in his van or something to that nature. What's the validity of that statement?
That might have. I mean, the Secret Service director yesterday did not refute that. She didn't refute anything. But it seems like he had some sort of a thing on his phone, or an encrypted thing on his phone where he could contact other countries.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't they're trying to call him a 20-year-old weirdo. This guy was very organized, and he almost pulled it off.
Yeah. He had a drop phone, I thought, drop cell, with 27 contacts on there.
Wow.
Which is and then he was able to fly a drone over the event 4 hours prior to scope out where he was going to be. And one thing Cheadle did... Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, they're trying to toss him off as a weirdo. But if I was going to assassinate someone, I never would have thought of flying a drone first.
No.
I never would have thought of that in a million years. So this guy's very sophisticated.
Unless somebody gave him the idea to fly the drone.
Right. You called Kamala black. I'm going to tell you, there's a group out there, because I went to their site to see what they had to say. It's called African Descendants of Slavery. ADOS.
ADOS? Okay.
ADOS. ADOS. They are out there pushing. She's not black. That ain't gonna happen. They did it when she ran in the primary. There are a lot of them here in Chicago, ADOS, who are not with Kamala Harris. So I think she's going to have a problem in the black race. That's one of the reasons why, John, I think she went to BET and they started the attack on Project 2025 to rile up the black community. What do you say?
Yeah, I've heard that, and I remember Don Lemon brought that up, and he caught all kinds of flack for it. The fact that she's not, I guess, African black, is that the way
Correct.
you would?
Right. Well, she's Jamaican and Indian.
And, well, when she was AG in California, she was the first Indian American Attorney General.
Correct.
But now they've changed that to make her the first black vice president, but she's Jamaican.
Correct.
Her mom was born in India. Her dad was born in Jamaica.
Correct. That's going to be a problem.
Does this mean when we talk about Kamala then that we don't capitalize the being black since it's not a culture thing?
I'm just saying. Listen, I'm
well,
not
how should
saying
we properly address her then, John?
Kamala.
It's just an adjective. It's just an adjective. That's all it is. Because her skin's black, but she's not black.
Right.
Okay, what about these rumors that Joe Biden's dead? I mean, well, we haven't seen him in 6 days, and he did call in yesterday to his campaign headquarters with his campaign chairman there at the lectern, and said, he's not going anywhere, that he's going to help campaign with her. Is that a good idea right now?
Yeah. Again, how hard would it have been to release a photo of him signing his letter? How hard would it be to release? How hard to get him in a suit, comb his hair? It wouldn't have been difficult at all. And if you look around, and again, we're talking about a government. We're talking about an administration that is perfectly comfortable in furtherance of its agenda, killing babies after they're born and calling it abortion, and permanently mutilating and sexualizing little kids to appease their trans funders. So these are not good people. These are vile people. So is it possible that in order to hold on to power, that they used AI to make that phone call? I mean, I've seen AI online, actual AI of Biden. It sounds more like Biden than that phone call did. So he's obviously very, very sick. His brother said so. But again, they're just no one's going to shut me up this time with my suspicions about what this government, what this administration is capable of. No one's going to shame anyone into silence this time. This stuff has just gone way too far.
Yeah, John, I so want an open convention. I want to see the clown show. But as it relates to Kamala picking her VP, who works best for Kamala to pick as who should she pick as the VP to run with her on the ticket?
If I was Kamala, I would choose Whitmer because it would be an all-girl ticket.
Ew.
And I think that would get a lot of people excited.
Ooh,
Plus,
not me.
Michigan is crucially important to winning the election, and Michigan's really close, even with Biden on the ticket. It's one of the closer swing states. So if I were Kamala, I'd go with Whitmer and just make it super historic and get all the dumb white women excited.
Oh my God.
Or awfuls, as Dan calls
That's a
them.
lot of ladies there on that ticket. I cannot support that. But who do you think the progressives or the squad wants her to choose? Bernie Sanders?
Oh yeah, they'd
Wouldn't
love
that
a
be
Bernie
fun?
or Karl Marx. You know, they could just bring Karl Marx back like they did Joe Biden and run him. So yeah, they're going to want someone. But don't forget, Kamala is the most left-wing senator.
Yep.
When she became vice president, she was the most left-wing senator in the Senate, and she was more left-wing than Bernie. So I think they're already pretty happy with her. They just want to win. They don't care.
Yeah, they'll do anything to
They
win.
just did. Yeah, anything to win. It's never about the end. It's never about the means. It's always about the ends.
Yeah.
So they stole the election from Joe Biden. They probably tried to shoot Donald Trump after they couldn't imprison him or strip him off the ballot. Anything they can do to win, they're going to win. They're going to permanently mutilate your kids to get money from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Anything they can do to win, they're going to do.
Are you watching Keith Olbermann and his unhinged response to the Trump assassination?
No, he said he needs proof that it was a bullet. So then
who
Donald
cares?
Trump's physician, Ronnie Johnson,
Yes.
came out and said it was the width of a penny, pretty much, that took off a chunk of his ear.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, John Nolte, that probably doesn't surprise you that they're denying that there was an assassination attempt.
No, and that's the other thing is that the usual narratives aren't working. You know, you don't see you don't see people really buying into any of this stuff or thinking about it or saying, oh, okay, we need to tone things down. You know, they tried to turn the assassination into gun control. And that's just not working. So it's just fascinating. But after a decade of hoaxes, there's no credibility here. The government can't tell anyone anything, and they're just not going to believe it. I mean, look what they've done to Trump, and he's winning. I'm not saying he's going to win, but the guy's winning. I mean, you look at the polls against Harris. They've been polling him against Harris for a year now, and she's only been ahead by a point or two in two of them out of dozens of polls. So he's winning, and that I think is the biggest signifier that just no one's listening to these people anymore because we've seen the effects of the Biden-Harris administration, which has been catastrophic to our country, and we saw the humanity of Donald Trump and the courage of Donald Trump, and his perseverance. And there's just something very American about the guy, and it's easy to remember how good things were under him.
Well, do you think he should debate her? Because personally, I think he should just sit this one out.
I think he has to debate her. I think if he chose not to debate her, it would blow back on him. So if she offers to debate, I think he has to debate her. And, you know, he debated Hillary.
Yeah.
So
I
don't think debating a woman is going to be difficult for him.
But that was a great one because that was a town hall style, and he was lurking behind her. And because I was there, Dan and I were there covering it live, and it was a great Saturday Night Live skit. But I mean, he was not going to back down. But they were friends. I mean, he went to Chelsea's wedding. He's donated to her campaign. He's donated to Kamala Harris's campaign.
Yeah.
But he's a changed man since then.
Yeah.
Just like I'm a recovering Democrat, you're a recovering Democrat. You know, people
It's been 20
do change.
plus years since I voted Democrat, though.
Really?
Yeah, 20 plus years.
Do you have any flashbacks?
No, none.
You're okay?
I have zero. What do you think about the J.D. Vance pick? I mean, now that Kamala's at the top of the ticket, you think it's still the right pick?
I think they knew there was going to be a chance that Kamala would be at the top of the ticket. So I think Trump believes he's going to win. I think he believes that for good reason. And instead of worrying about, can I pluck Michigan? And I don't really know how much a VP helps. I've never really believed that a VP helps. But I think he's more concerned about legacy. So I'm going to pick this 39-year-old guy who's a MAGA guy, and then he can continue my movement. I think he made the best pick. I don't know who else he could have picked. It really would have changed the dynamic.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders. That's who I've wanted all along. I really wanted her. I thought she would have been a great pick for him.
I mean,
I wanted Nikki Haley.
Did you really?
I know. I fell on my head
Something's
when I
wrong
got
with
out of bed the other day. No, I've always wanted Nikki Haley because she could bring people that, undecideds, women in the suburbs.
Never
Yes.
Trumpers will never Trumpers are going to always be never Trumpers. She would not have been
In
able
the
to
state
bring
of
them.
Utah, when they had their primary a few weeks ago, she got 46% of the vote.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an appetite for her out there. Well, there was.
You're
so.
talking about Utah, though.
Hey, easy. All right, John Nolte, we're getting inside baseball here. Always a pleasure having you on. What are you working on? Anything today you want to promote?
I'm just going to be digging more into the Secret Service failures. That's what really fascinates me, and making sure that the media knows that they're not going to shut us up about our suspicions that this was an inside job, because the evidence, and the truth, the facts point that way. Especially after Cheadle's just catastrophic testimony yesterday. I mean, if you can unite Democrats and Republicans in this country, especially in Congress, there's something going on.
And John, real quick, I know we got to go, but the cop who I believe saved Trump's life is now being called a coward. Is that a name you would designate for him?
I'm not familiar with the story. Who's the cop?
The guy that stood up on the roof, and he allegedly, this was reported, that he trained his weapon on the cop. The cop fell back, but it was in that slight delay that rushed the shooter, if he was the shooter, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think climbing on a roof when you think there's a dangerous guy up there is cowardly at all.
Yeah.
I mean, cops. That's who would do that? I wouldn't.
There's a lot of calls for calling him a coward right now.
And John Nolte, real quick, how many Secret Service agents were actually there that day rather than Homeland Security personnel?
Cheadle wouldn't tell us. She knows, but she won't tell us. And why not? And how many were local cops that weren't trained for this, that maybe weren't on the radios? I mean, it's just beyond the beyond.
Radio
it's
traffic.
A catastrophic failure. All right, John Nolte, Breitbart News senior writer and author of Borrowed Time. Always a pleasure, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime.
Okay.
Take care.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with
The
Dan and
radio
Amy
track-
on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Do you have jewelry with sentimental value that needs repairing? Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I'm a customer of family-owned Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville because it's a place I trust. Their in-house master jeweler does impeccable work, and jewelry comes back repaired in perfect condition and looks the same as the day you bought it. It's a great feeling. Roland's also specializes in custom design. They'll work with you every step of the way to make your dream jewelry idea come to life. The Rollins family is expertly trained to give you outstanding customer service, earning 5-star Google ratings. Now that's impressive. Visit Rollins Jewelers' beautiful showroom in downtown Libertyville for all of your jewelry needs. Visit RowlandsJewelers.com. That's ROLLANDS Jewelers.com, or call or text them at 847-918-7300. 847-918-7300. Rollins Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
I got a great QC Kinetic story. I was at the pool and I met this woman who had a hip replacement on her left hip, but she said she needs one on her right, but she's not going to do it. Instead, she's going to QC Kinetics and she loves it. She's 2 procedures in and she said, I should have done this years ago with my other hip. QC Kinetics, you should call them today. They're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. We're talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk and run, hike, play golf, play pickleball, move again, pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. He's a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Now, their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. They're open on Saturdays, and they have new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. The number to call, 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
Hey, folks. I just can't help thinking of our stress levels. And high blood pressure is the #1 key risk factor for mortality. In fact, 1 in 2 Americans walking around have high blood pressure. That's a ticking time bomb. But thankfully, it's never been easier to take control of your blood pressure. With 120 Life, a truly remarkable natural juice blend that can actually help you lower your blood pressure without the side effects of taking pills every day. 120 Life is formulated with scientifically backed ingredients from superfruits, berries, and minerals that have been shown to naturally help control high blood pressure. And it works. It's endorsed by over 70 health professionals, and I assure you, that's not fake news. I use it myself. I love it. You can try it for yourself risk-free with their 2-week trial. Just go to 120 Life and use the coupon code LIBERTY to save 15% and receive free shipping. If 120 Life doesn't help lower your blood pressure in 2 weeks, they give you your money back. It's guaranteed. Go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com. Go to 120life.com today.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Ted Dabrowski, president at WirePoints, joins us. And later, if only they had a big gulp. We'll explain. But now into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
7:32 is our time. 157 so far have been killed in mudslides in a remote part of Ethiopia. Vice President Kamala Harris making her first visit to a battleground state today after locking up enough support from Democrat delegates to win her party's nomination to challenge former President Donald Trump. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries telling reporters that he and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will meet with Harris this week.
Kamala Harris has excited the community. She's excited the House Democratic Caucus, and she's exciting the country.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer joined Midwest Democrat governors from Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois in endorsing Harris.
Today, I am fired up to endorse Kamala Harris for President of the United States. And Vice President Harris, Michigan voters have a presidential candidate we can count on to lower our costs, protect our freedoms, and build an economy that works for working people.
Former President Donald Trump says mistakes were made at his Pennsylvania rally that ended with an attempted assassination.
They had a policeman that actually saw the man with a gun, and you would have thought that that would have been conveyed to other people. So there were some mistakes, but I can tell you this, just to go on the more positive side, the people on the stage were unbelievable and brave. They were all Secret Service that came running up.
In light of what happened in Pennsylvania, top lawmakers on the House Oversight Committee yesterday called on the head of the Secret Service to resign.
It is my firm belief, Director Cheadle, that you should resign. However, in complete defiance, Director Cheadle has maintained she will not tender her resignation. Therefore, she will answer questions today from members of this committee seeking to provide clarity to the American people about how these events were allowed to transpire.
Kentucky Republican James Comer and Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin released a rare joint letter calling on Cheadle to resign. 4 pedestrians and a CPD squad car were hit by a stolen vehicle in the Brighton Park neighborhood on Monday night. Officers were conducting a traffic stop along West 46th Street when police say the driver reversed, struck that squad car, then slammed into 2 other cars and 4 pedestrians. South suburban residents confronting Cook County's tax assessor about dramatic property tax increases.
I feel like it's almost a conspiracy for all of us people of color to possibly lose our property.
Assessor Fritz Kagi blames school districts and business reassessments for the property tax hikes. Property tax bill payments are due on August 1st. A Calumet Park man is charged with the attempted murder of a 7-year-old boy following a shooting on the Dan Ryan. Ulysses Burns was arrested on Sunday following the incident near 73rd on the Dan Ryan. Chicago sports. Cubs silenced the Brew Crew with a 3-1 win in the series opener from Wrigley Field, while the White Sox are on an 8-game losing skid following a 4-3 10-inning loss to the Rangers. The news is a service of Croscom Public Adjusters. If your home or business has an insurance claim, Croscom will get you what you need and have coming to you. They've helped thousands. CroscomPublicAdjusters.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's Reveille. After much pressure from donors and senior Democrat leadership, President Biden has decided to withdraw from his campaign for a second term. The pressure comes as his polling numbers continue to lag Trump in swing states due to his policies and his universally recognized diminished mental acuity. Democrats everywhere have a lot of explaining to do. They can't distance themselves from his policies because they voted for those policies in Congress and in state legislatures everywhere. They collectively are responsible for the 13 service members killed in Afghanistan, the weakening of America's military and stature on the world stage, the rampant inflation, the billions of new spending, handouts for bogus green energy companies, unconstrained illegal immigration, and most recently, the assassination attempt on President Trump and the killing of a supporter, Corey Compertore. After all, they collectively never held Biden responsible for any of the above, and then knowingly supported him at the same time they knew he wasn't up to the job mentally or physically. The Democrat and media cover-up of Biden's infirmities from the public and then their refusal to call for him to step down from the presidency is dangerous. For the next 6 months, in the most undemocratic fashion, unelected bureaucrats and Joe Biden's family will be openly making decisions reserved for an elected president. Who's defending democracy now? Who's calling the shots? Who has the nuclear codes? Who's receiving the national security briefings and making decisions on that information? Will Biden be allowed to sign any more executive orders or laws? Who's going to fire Secret Service Director Cheadle? In 2024, it's time to make America accountable again. I'm Jeannie Ives. To learn more, listen to my radio show on Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and sign up for my newsletter at breakthrough-ideas.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
7:38. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. They're clearing an accident in Darien, Casson 75th. Burns Harbor in northwest Indiana overturned semi blocking a right lane along US 20 westbound just after State Road 149. Police activity in the Morgan Park community has an intersection closed down. Campbell, north and southbound between 108 and 109th. That, of course, is major police activity there. I-80 stop-and-go traffic westbound near LaGrange Road, and the Tri-State stop-and-go northbound between the Stevenson and Ogden. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Clouds and sun with maybe a thunderstorm later this afternoon. High 86, showers and maybe a thunderstorm overnight. Low 67. Right now, mostly sunny and 69. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Insert Democrat socialist here.
Runs the Democratic House floor for 30 plus years running. He's promising this and he's stealing that. Where can you get that kind of money? He's using your house like his own piggy bank. You ought to know by now. You can pay off your house here in Illinois, but you can never keep up with the taxes. Oh, how it's always been the plan to have a taxpayer pay no
Sing
doubt.
it, man.
Not a matter of if anymore, but when you're moving out. I said, when you're moving out.
That music can only mean one thing. Ted Dabrowski, former Georgia Tech grad.
Got his own walk-on music.
President is wire pointing. You're right. That is his own walk-on music. Remember when they asked Governor Pritzker during the race, what would your walkout song be?
Yeah.
He didn't know what the heck anybody was
No.
talking about.
No.
He didn't know that that's what, your walkout song, your baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah.
And you're in the batting circle first, and then you walk out. No clue.
Yeah. Well, it proved that he didn't get the questions beforehand then.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. Don't take me back to those deep, dark days. Good morning, Ted Dabrowski. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, John. How are you guys doing? I'm doing well.
Well, we've
Go
had
Jackets.
a
Go
week.
Jackets.
Oh, yeah, go Jackets. Yeah, what year did you graduate, by the way?
1986. So
Oh.
a little bit ago.
Just
Just
a
last
few
year.
days ago.
Exactly.
Just a few months ago. And what fraternity were you in?
I was a Phi Delta.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Troublemakers.
But did you get straight A's like my son did last year?
No, your son. You taught you did better with your son than I did. It took me about 3 years before I figured out what to do.
Oh, how to study?
Then I became a good student eventually.
Yeah. Well, it's a maturation process. That's why you go to college, to learn how to organize your time, right?
Well, it was a lot cheaper to find my maturity back then because I could spend 3 years trying to do that and not spend a gazillion dollars like it is now.
No, it's $80,000 a year or $64,000. I mean, it's absolute ridiculousness. But we're not here to talk about that. Ted Dabrowski, the upcoming DNC convention. Do you see an open convention, a brokered convention?
Well, I know that everybody's lining up with Harris, and kind of reminds me back of the days when Irvin became a candidate here in Illinois, and everybody lined up behind him. But it was a little premature and a little too fast. And I think that's what's happening with Kamala Harris. But she seems to have the backing. She's got all her opponents are backing her now. So she should be fine. But then again, I leave things open, man, because it's a crazy world right now. And you never know what can happen. And, could they dump her? Could somebody try to come in? I don't know. But I don't know. I guess it's going to be stable, but I still leave an opening for something crazy to happen, open convention to occur.
Now, why did it take so long for Governor Pritzker, he, hailed Biden as a hero for stepping down instead of them provoking or getting the 25th Amendment. Either, make it easy or you make it hard. But he still has not come out. I mean, he's publicly supported her, but he still has not gone on camera and said, I want Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States. Do you think we'll see that? Because Whitmer's come forward, Shapiro from Pennsylvania, but not Pritzker.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious why he didn't immediately, because this was the opening he's been waiting for. I think he's a really smart guy. I give him a lot of credit for that. He knew that at some point Biden would step down, and so that was at some point Pritzker's opportunity to have a chance at becoming a nominee. But the problem is that everybody coalesced around Harris so quickly that he got left out. Right, he was waiting for a whole day, so he finally had to do so. But I think he still has his eyes open on that opportunity. It just might be being shut right in front of him. He'd love to be the presidential nominee.
Yeah, I want to go something local. State Representative Anthony John DeLuca. He's proposing that J.B. Pritzker redirect $100 million away from the migrant crisis issue to property tax relief. Did I see that number right? In his district, property taxes are anywhere between 26% to 100% over. Is that correct, Ted?
Oh yeah, what's amazing? I mean, this is an interesting story only because you have somebody going against the system. If you didn't see it, the tax bills came out in Dixmoor and Phoenix and Harvey and all those South Cook communities, largely black communities. And let me read this off to you.
Chicago Heights.
Chicago Heights, yeah. So Dixmoor property taxes jumped by 122%. So the average went from 1,000 to 2,000.
Wow.
Phoenix 107%, and this is in 1 year. Wow. Harvey 1,100, 82%. And I'll tell you this. Look at this one. In Park Forest, they went from 4,500 to 7,000.
Oh.
This is a median. That's a $2,500 increase. And they're going crazy, saying, "How can you do this to us?"
Right. And I'll say this about Anthony John, because every time we see each other, John Anthony, he's always been somebody to go against this party. I mean, there's a number of occasions where Anthony DeLuca has been willing to stand up and say enough of this progressive stuff, because he's not a progressive at all. And I hate to see it because what's happening in the House and in the Senate, those moderates like him are being challenged by people to their left. And I hope we don't lose him, Ted.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what the pressures are. So what's good about this is he's come out and I like it, right? He says, hey, we should shift this money that's going to migrants. We're spending all this money on migrants, and let's put it to our own people. Now here's the problem, and this is the only correction I would make, and it's a big correction. I don't want, we don't want to shift money. What we need to do is lower our spending, right? Our property tax. We don't have the money to shift around. What we need to do is stop spending money, one, on illegal immigration. And then two, we got to give property tax relief, and that means all kinds of reforms. We put out a piece on how much superintendents and schools are getting paid right now.
Ridiculous.
In those same communities, right? So you got the guy from Dalton. He's got a $422,000 salary.
Yeah.
Right, and only 14% of black kids can read. So you need the reforms.
I agree.
But I do like that DeLuca stood up.
Ted, myself, Dennis Rebeletti, and Jeannie Ives did one night on the RNC coverage, and we were talking about Dennis when he came in, he believes the budget was at like $20-something billion. I know my first budget, I believe it was 32 billion, and now the budget is now 53. Is it $53.1 billion? How does the voters of Illinois stand for something like that? When is enough enough?
Well, the thing is, we don't do a good enough job. Our side, let's call it our side, doesn't do a good enough job of telling voters exactly what happened. First of all, Pritzker turned around and gave a lot of that money back to the voters, right? In his unions and in salary hikes and benefit hikes and all that stuff. So that's how you appease one side of it. But people just don't really understand. They can't connect the dots between these massive budgets and their own property taxes and income taxes.
Well,
wow.
It's on us to do a better job of communicating that to the public.
I agree.
Well, I have a little bit of sad news on my property because my neighbor, there's only 2 A-frames on our street left because everything else was a tear down and they built McMansions. So my neighbor with the same square footage that I have put in a beautiful full bath in the basement and a bedroom, and now I'm paying for it because my taxes in the next 3 years are going to go up $9,531.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
I don't have that kind of cash.
Yeah.
Well, and normally it might be good if your property values went up a lot with it, so that way one day when you sell. But if you've seen the work we've done, Illinois lags the entire country in increases in property values. So you're paying more taxes, but your property values aren't keeping up.
Yeah, I want to talk about something that's local, but also something that's national. Tale of two worlds. Joe Biden put out a tweet about Sonia Massey and being shot by the officer, but I didn't see a tweet going out about the postal worker that was shot while she was doing her job.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about the hypocrisy. And we both know why, because one fits the agenda, the other doesn't fit the agenda. One, she's shot by a white person. The other is shot by another black person. Right, Ted?
Yeah. Well, I guess we're used to that hypocrisy, but they leverage the hell out of it. They'll play the hell out of it. Ignoring the fact. This is for me even more important is that they'll play that game. But when you look at all the victims in the South Side and West Side, they all tend to be black and Hispanic. 80 to 95% of victims are black or Hispanic, and yet they don't care about it, right? If it's not politically in their favor to talk about it, but yeah, when it's the other way around, they jump all over it.
Wow.
And also, I don't know if you heard this, but remember the 2 guys that were drag racing on Cicero Avenue? They're speeding up to 100 miles per hour, and they hit a tourist who was here visiting. They got probation. But I kept thinking, my God, if they had a big gulp on them, because that guy who threw the big gulp at Kim Fox that had root beer in it, he's been charged with 2 felonies, and these guys are on probation, and they killed somebody. For her ego was just bruised, probably because he didn't know who she was, and he told her, blank, get out of the way. But isn't that a colossal abuse of power?
I mean, I don't know what to say to that, right? It's we see it over and over again where these violent people are let go, in the name of equity, in the name of social justice, and that's why I was just saying, and then they turn around and go and kill or maim somebody who's black or Hispanic. It's a circular thing, and yet they make it sound like they're doing some some good and so some social justice good, but it's another one of the lies that are perpetrated right now.
Hey Ted, I think a lot of people didn't realize that the gas tax went up again on July 1st. Now, I was talking to Jeannie and Dennis about that. Is that in perpetuity? That happens is there an end to the raising of the gas tax?
No. Every year now, it's going to go up with inflation. So they put that in there so that they don't have to vote on it every time. What happens now is the motor fuel tax, which is now at 47 cents. It will automatically go up with inflation every year. So
at what percent? At what percent? Based upon
rate of inflation,
consumer price inflation.
Okay,
yeah. So, it'll be the CPI.
Yeah.
And so Pritzker doubled that tax from 19 to 38 cents when he passed that capital bill back in 2019. And since then, it's gone from 39 cents to 47.
Wow.
We're actually going to put something out. We calculated the price for Joliet.
Thank you. That's my hometown.
Oh, that's your home. There you go. Then we'll probably put it out maybe tomorrow. It's $1.04 in taxes, right? So you got a gas bill about $4.20.
Yeah.
And on average in Illinois, and you pay $1.04 in Joliet between state, federal,
yeah.
And then DuPage and I'm sorry, that's Will and Joliet city taxes, yeah.
And Kendall County.
Because you can't in the city now. All of a sudden, boom, it's $5 a gallon again.
Yeah, I feel sorry for people. I know a lot of people won't fill up there, but if you're on empty, you have to.
Bring back the mean tweets.
They're just trying to get us to buy those EVs, which I'm not going to do.
Yeah. Well, Trump says he's going to get rid of them.
Oh, good.
He's going to get rid of the mandate.
The mandate, right? Not get rid of the cars. Just let us have a choice. We like to have choices as American citizens.
Well, yeah, I think the silver lining of all this crazy change that's going on, in the country, and then of course you have some leadership change in the Republican Party and all that.
Yeah.
This is a big opportunity. Look at all this stuff we're complaining about. We have to do a better job of making sure that ordinary people understand that, and that's the way we get policy change. But if we can't be persuasive, it's on us. So I think it's a big opportunity, and we shouldn't waste it.
We got to provide the answers, Ted. We can't just complain about stuff. We have to provide the solutions to the problems that are there, and we have to do it in a way where people who don't vote for us understand.
Exactly.
All right, Ted Dabrowski. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry about that. President of WirePoint Inc. So much. Always a pleasure having you on, and thank you so much.
Brother.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
With over 3 decades of serving up streetwise insight and local perspective on Page 2, the voice of John Cass has a home at johncassnews.com.
I'm John Cass, and for too long, so-called progressives have been ruining our world. They've been stepping on it. They've twisted everything from the schools to the media in the hopes of crushing our liberty. Traditional media, mainstream media, like the paper, and anything else you see on TV, well, they're in on it. And that's why you need to join me at johncassnews.com for your daily cup of Midwestern common sense. Don't be a chump alone. Join me on the new frontier of independent journalism at johncassnews.com, where freedom and liberty still mean something. They mean everything.
Go to johncassnews.com to subscribe for daily access to podcasts and columns from John Cass and others. That's johncassnews.com. Click on subscribe.
What if I told you you can save a baby's life for just $28? Well, it's true. Preborn is a ministry doing just that with the help of people like you by offering free ultrasound sessions to pregnant girls and women who otherwise might choose to end their pregnancy. We know that pregnant girls and women who can see their babies on ultrasound are far more likely to choose life. Your gift today can save babies' lives. Just $28 can give a mother the chance to see the truth of the baby that is growing inside her. $140 can do this for 5 girls and women. Whether you want to save one baby or 5 or hundreds, that opportunity is just a click or phone call away. Call 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Or go online to 560theanswer.com/preborn.
Suburban Welding and Steel is your local welding, fabricating, and repair shop where service and quality is number one. Their dedicated team of experts can repair a job on site or in their shop located in Franklin Park. They have the machinery needed to get your project completed with the craftsmanship and precision so you can get back to business. Suburban Welding and Steel Services, more than just the manufacturing industry. They also service the food industry, heavy equipment, trucking, airports, and railroads. Walk-ins are also welcome, so if you need it welded, repaired, fabricated, or modified, Suburban Welding and Steel will do the laser cutting, machining, forming, and plate rolling for you. Or they have the materials you need in stock and ready for the purchase. And if you know a hardworking person looking for a career in the trade, Suburban Welding and Steel is looking to add to their team of experts. Visit suburbanweldingandsteel.com to see the full story on what they can do for you. SuburbanWeldingandSteel.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging: wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part? My guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Congressman Darren LaHood joins us. What's the rumblings in D.C. about the Secret Service director and other things? We'll start there when he joins us at 8:08. And then later, the leftist positions Kamala Harris has taken over the years. Highlights and lowlights. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
4 pedestrians and a CPD squad car damaged by a stolen vehicle. South Suburban residents confronting the Cook County tax assessor about dramatic property tax increases. One person is dead following a fire in Buffalo Grove. The investigation is underway following a deadly triple shooting in Chicago's Lawndale neighborhood. And Governor Pritzker is endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris to replace President Biden. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
She'll hold her first rally today as the presumptive Democratic nominee. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Vice President Harris will campaign in Milwaukee.
It is my intention to go out and earn this nomination and to win.
That was at what was Biden campaign headquarters in Delaware the day after the president dropped out of the 2024 race.
Her team says they've raised more than $100 million in the last roughly 48 hours. The president called into that meeting as well, where he told the staff to embrace Harris.
And I want you to know you've always had my back, and I promise you, I will always have your back.
The president returns to the White House this afternoon. He has no public events on his schedule as he recovers from COVID-19.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Former President Trump's calling his new November opponent, Vice President Harris, dumb as a rock. His running mate, J.D. Vance, at a rally in Virginia called President Biden
not just a quitter, which he is, but one of the worst
presidents of the United States of America. But my friends, Kamala Harris is a million times worse.
There's a bipartisan task force being set up in Congress to investigate the Trump assassination attempt as calls grow from lawmakers in both parties for Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to resign. Democrat Ro Khanna just told Fox.
She simply doesn't have the confidence of the nation. There are a lot of people who do not trust her, so she needs to step aside.
In an hour, the House Homeland Security Committee holds another hearing into the Trump rally security lapses, and Fox's C.B. Cotton reports from Butler, Pennsylvania. Some members visited the scene of the crime.
Some of them even got on top of the roof that Thomas Crooks fired from without using any equipment. And the committee chairman, Mark Green, told Fox he learned a water tower overlooking the area was not utilized by law enforcement for any security purposes, leaving him and other lawmakers absolutely stunned.
The Transportation Department's opened an investigation into Delta, the airline affected most by Friday's global tech outage, with hundreds more flight cancellations today. America's listening to Fox News.
8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 4 pedestrians and a CPD squad car were struck by a stolen vehicle in the Brighton Park neighborhood. Officers were conducting a traffic stop on that stolen vehicle when it reversed, hit the squad car, then 2 other cars, and 4 pedestrians. South suburban residents confronting the Cook County tax assessor about dramatic property tax increases.
I feel like it's almost a conspiracy for all of us people of color to possibly lose our property.
Assessor Fritz Kagi blames school districts and business reassessments for the tax hikes. Governor Pritzker is endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris to replace President Biden, saying Harris has proven she possesses the skills and strength to lead. Illinois U.S. Senator Dick Durbin was one of the first phone calls that Harris made.
She's smart, she's quick, she's proven herself as a prosecutor for the state of California, as a senator, and now as a vice president. She has foreign policy experience. She is prepared for this responsibility and challenge.
And this morning, several Big Lots stores are closing in the Chicago area. The longtime retail chain is closing locations in Crest Hill, Lockport, and Niles. Cubs, winners over the Brew Crew 3-1 to open that series at Wrigley Field, while the White Sox lost to the Rangers in 10, 4-3. The news, a service of Crosscom Public Adjusters. If your home or business has an insurance claim, Crosscom will help you get what you need and have coming to you. They've helped thousands. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs. Now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Don't expect to pay less for a General Motors car. The company's earnings and revenue easily topped Wall Street expectations in the quarter. Demand held up even though prices remained steady. The average price for a new GM car is now just under $49,900. GM expected to be cutting prices this year because of high interest rates, which push up car payments. Now GM is raising expectations for the year. Tesla reports earnings after the Wall Street close. UPS says it's delivering more packages. Demand improved for the first time since 2022, though its earnings and revenue came in weaker than expected. New crypto exchange-traded funds based on Ether will start trading today from BlackRock, Fidelity, and others. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
8:04 or 8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
November 2nd, 2020 marked the 100th anniversary of the first commercial radio broadcast. We're still here, and we're bigger and better than ever. You can still listen to us over this great radio station, but now there are no limitations. Your smartphone is now your smart radio. Listen to us online on the app, TuneIn.com, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey.com. Your smart speaker can find us too. With radio, there is no separation anxiety. We're always on. AM 560, The Answer.
Hi,
everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
It's 8:07. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. A service of Valdecast Windows for the discerning homeowner looking for high-quality, professional-level window replacement. Contact Valdecast Windows, your award-winning Platinum Elite Pella certified contractor. Visit Valdecast.com. Kennedy at 1 hour, O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Ike outbound jams solid. Cicero to Des Plaines Avenue. Stevenson, 51 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You're on the brakes at Harlem Avenue. Dan Ryan, stop and go in the locals, 47th into the Circle. DuSable Lakeshore Drive northbound, jamming between 18th and Monroe. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Sun and clouds today. Thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. The high 86. Partly cloudy, humid. Shower and thunderstorm mainly early tonight. Could see some downpours. Low tonight 67. Partly sunny, scattered thunderstorms for tomorrow. The high 78. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
69 at O'Hare. 71 Midway. Next news 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, what a time it has been. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony. I feel like I have whiplash, political Democratic whiplash. My head was spinning. Is he in? Is he out?
Squirrel.
Is she fat? Is she skinny? Pick a weight and stick with it. Remember that Oprah thing? No, but as people know, Biden's gone, but he's not going away. Oh, no.
Just yet.
He's campaigning with Kamala. Ugh. Does he really want to do that? Does she really want him to do that?
I know yesterday's news was surprising and it was hard for you to hear, but it was the right thing to do. I know it's hard because you poured your heart and soul into me to help us win this thing, help me get this nomination, help me win the nomination, and then go on to win the presidency. But you're an amazing team. But we've got a great. I think we made the right decision. I know how hard you've worked, how many sacrifices you've made, and so many of you uprooted your lives for me, and the kind of commitments few people make for anything these days, but you made it. And I've been honored and humbled. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. My word is a Biden, that for all you've done for me and my family. And we built the best campaign in organization in history. I've been doing this, I always kid and say, I know I'm only 40, but I've been around a long time. I don't know of a better campaign organization, grassroots campaign. You know, we have over 230 offices opened. We have over 2,000 paid staff, and we have literally several thousand volunteers on a regular basis, thousands of them. And they've been relentless and tireless in reaching out and contacting voters. The leadership of this campaign has been amazing. Jen O'Malley Dillon, Julie Quinn, Michael Tyler, Rob Flaherty, Rufus on raising money, and so many more. You built this team. You brought them together. You brought us together. You've inspired them, and you've done what leaders do. Now we got to, the name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell, both as a sitting president, getting legislation passed, as well as in campaigning.
That just hit me. Was that part of the deal for him to step down to still be able to go out with her and campaign?
Probably.
Was there a deal that he
hear.
might say he's sick and give her the reins so that she could pardon his son?
Yeah, I didn't
and
hear
pardon him
anyway.
for the tax fraud case that's coming up in California in
Could be.
September? With more on this, let's welcome back to the program Congressman Darren LaHood for the 16th District of Illinois. Good morning, Mr. LaHood. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Amy. Great to be on with you and John.
Yeah, so, pretty boring in politics these days, huh?
Yeah,
Nothing
not
going
a lot
on?
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was interesting, Amy, on just playing that clip. We had Biden step down on Sunday. To this day, we've not seen any visuals of the president. There's no videos. He's never addressed the nation. That was apparently a phone call that he made that you just played here. We haven't seen the guy in 4 days, which causes a lot of people to wonder who the frick is running the country, which is really, really frightening right now, right? A lot going on. And then the other observation that I will make is somehow now they're making Kamala Harris out to be this, euphoric figure. I mean, that she's somehow different from Biden. I mean, she co-owns the disastrous policies of the Biden administration. And people forget her one job that Biden gave her at the beginning was the border czar. She was the border czar in charge of the border, and it's an unmitigated disaster. So, I feel like I'm in fantasy land when I hear these Democrats and I hear the media fawning all over her.
It's not funny anymore. I mean, who's running this country? Look, you had Benjamin Netanyahu land yesterday from Israel. He's going to address Congress tomorrow and then meet with Biden allegedly on Thursday. There was nobody there to greet him. Why do you think VP Harris snubbed him on the tarmac?
Well, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Israel's our number one ally in the Middle East. We need to support them. I'm glad Speaker Johnson invited Netanyahu to come address Congress on Wednesday. I'll be there front and center, as a lot of other Republicans and hopefully Americans will be tuning in to watch that. But it's an embarrassment for our country that we don't have a top executive branch official from the administration to be able to do that.
I mean, Anthony Blinken wasn't even there to greet him. I guess they had some flax at the embassy.
Was that Senator Coons that was there?
I don't know. Do you know who even showed up, Congressman?
I don't. I have no idea. No, I don't.
I'm sorry. I'm going to call you Darren. I forget.
Excuse me. It is Congressman.
Well,
I know you two are friends.
I serve with him, so we call each other by our names, not by our titles. But Congressman LaHood, I mean, this was an epic failure as it relates to the Trump assassination. Did the Secret Service director, did she satisfy you with any of her answers about what transpired on July 13th?
Hell no. Anybody that watched that hearing yesterday, it's an embarrassment for our country. Completely unacceptable, her answers, and really disingenuous all the way around. And listen, when you see Democrats, multiple Democrats calling for her to step down or be fired, that should tell you everything. For the life of me, I can't understand why Joe Biden or the administration has not fired her yet. And from the standpoint that from how we look in the world, it's an embarrassment. The fact that our leading presidential candidate against Biden is almost assassinated in Butler, Pennsylvania, by a guy that puts a ladder onto a shed and climbs up when everybody is telling the Secret Service what is going on. It's just terrible. And so I got back to D.C. yesterday. Speaker Johnson is putting together a task force to figure out how do you revamp the Secret Service. First of all, she needs to go. I think that will happen in the next couple days.
Oh, you do?
She has not stepped down yet, but I think that will happen in the next couple days. But secondarily, we need to get to the bottom of this and make sure something like this never, ever happens again.
I mean, I don't know who the hell she thinks she is, but I mean, when you got AOC and Jim Jordan on the same page wanting her gone, I mean, what is her background with Jill Biden? I heard that she was a Secret Service detail for Jill Biden and Joe Biden.
Well, she worked. She was doing security for PepsiCo before this. But again, this is like many of these other federal agencies where they're trying to check the box by bringing somebody in that fits a particular category that they want to say that they're DEI stuff. And unfortunately, you have the incompetence of somebody at the top. Now, I give a lot of credit to the line Secret Service agents. You got a lot of really good ones that are out there. But as you saw, Amy, there's been a lot of whistleblowers from the Secret Service that have come forward to just say the leadership at the top has been terrible. And that's part of why we created the weaponization of the federal government, the Republicans, is stuff like this, because you have, again, in the FBI, the Secret Service, a number of these other federal law enforcement agencies, you have leadership at the top that has no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, Congressman, I mean, when you look at the scheduling as it relates to, I believe they had, 3 different events that day, First Lady, it was the First Lady Trump, and there was one more, I believe. Should they start looking at how they, because as the director said herself, they're stretched very thin. They're 8,000 Secret Service agents right now. Should they start looking at how they schedule out these big events, especially when you have a Trump rally? Because Trump's going to average at least 10,000 or more people. Should they start looking at how they start scheduling these events? Because what I want to know is, was Trump scheduled already and then they threw in these other events? That's an issue for me. What about you?
Well, John, those are all very, very important questions. Unfortunately, I wish we weren't asking them now. We should have been asking them before. But I think it gets to the point of, part of our role in Congress is congressional oversight, holding the executive branch accountable, making sure that something like this never happens again. Completely unacceptable on the planning and the preparation for this particular rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The perimeter should have been extended. They should have had more Secret Service agents on the ground there. They should have done a better job with local law enforcement. I mean, all of those are very relevant and important questions. Listen, as a former federal prosecutor, you follow the facts and evidence here. I think this task force that will be announced tomorrow will be a serious task force with subpoena power. People need to be fired. People need to be held accountable. But more importantly, moving forward, yes, we need to figure out hiring more agents, Secret Service agents, and having a better plan in place for the future. We can never let this happen again.
Yeah. What's the case that Donald Trump makes against a Kamala Harris presidency? We know the biggest millstone she has is the immigration issue. What else can Trump? What type of campaign do you believe Trump should run against a Harris, and no matter who she picks as VP?
Well, look, I mean, again, she doesn't want to talk about her record, but she's a San Francisco liberal. Right. That's the foundation of where she came from. Go back and look at her days as a DA in San Francisco. I mean, she had a terrible, terrible record. Fast forward to when we had the Black Lives Matter riots and the Antifa riots. Remember, she set up a bail fund to free criminals. That has to be exposed.
Yeah.
Her background, as a prosecutor, has to be exposed. I mean, she's never been to the border.
Yeah.
I mean, she's never been to Europe before. We want someone to come in. Again, they don't want to talk about any of her background or experience. And the other point that I will make is she's been the second in command for a completely inept administration. Whether it's on national security issues, whether it's on the economy, whether it's on the unmitigated disaster at the border. So, listen, we came out of our convention very unified, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. I think it couldn't have gone better. but we got to keep the focus on her and exposing that. Of course, the media isn't going to be with us. The Democrats aren't going to be with us. Hollywood isn't going to be with us.
Never Trumpers.
The Trump administration, they need to be focused on exposing her record and what she's done.
And George Clooney this morning is embracing Kamala Harris because he got the ball rolling on all of this with the blessing of Obama. But in 2020, she never even made it to the Iowa caucuses because she was polling at 1%. And she's going to have a major staff exodus, which reignites her leadership concerns.
Yeah, she's never won anything. She never won a primary. She had to drop out early before Iowa. I mean, listen, if this election has to be about her and Biden, if it's about her and Biden, nobody's going to vote for them, and we're going to win. But we got to keep the pressure on them. And frankly, I think the Trump administration is pivoting now. They've known this is going to happen. If you watch the convention last week, you have a Donald Trump that's much more focused and disciplined. He's got smart, bright people around him. But we're going to have to execute tactically between now and November 5th to expose her for who she is. I think that's going to take place at the convention, but we can't keep our foot off the gas in terms of going after her and exposing her. She would be terrible for the next 4 years. Absolutely awful. This is the most consequential election in our lifetime.
That is
Who do you think her VP pick is going to be? Because I'm sure Governor Pritzker is probably throwing millions at them, saying, "Pick me, I want it."
Well, it's funny, Amy. I think it's ironic. He would love to be considered, but apparently he's not being considered. Because I say this all the time: if Pritzker didn't have billions of dollars, no one would be paying attention to him. If he didn't have billions of dollars, he'd be selling insurance in suburban Chicago. Look at his record. Look at who he is. Why would anybody pick him as VP? It makes no sense, except for he's a billionaire.
Yeah, he could fund everything. But they're getting, they just raised $100 million in the last 24 hours. Yeah. I was shocked.
To your question, I think the governor of Kentucky, Beshear, I think is in line. I think the governor of Pennsylvania, Shapiro, I think somebody they're looking at. I think they're going to look at Mark Kelly, the astronaut and Democrat senator in Arizona. I think those are probably the top three picks.
Amy, I always like to tease the congressman. Sounds like he's gearing up for gubernatorial LaHood for governor.
Would you ever like to be governor of Illinois?
Hey, John, I don't know what you're drinking or smoking this morning, but listen, we can't be. We need to be focused on November 5th.
Amen.
As I said, this is the most consequential election in our lifetime. So much is at stake, and we have such an opportunity to win back the Senate, win back the White House, add seats in the House, and that's number one focus between now and November 5th is staying focused on that.
All right, Congressman Darren LaHood from the 16th District of Illinois. Thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate your time and your insight.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great week.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Guys, it's summer and time to do more outdoors, but do you feel out of energy, lacking motivation and mental focus? It could be low testosterone. Low T affects millions of men, and it happens naturally. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy at Low T Center. It starts with a quick test, and the results are fast. Don't wait. Take control of your health. And now Low T Center is offering a free initial test. So if you're over 30, schedule a visit at lowtcenter.com today. That offer is good until July 31st. lowtcenter.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
IT support. How can we help?
Hey there, we have a huge problem. Our network crashed and our entire assembly line is down. We're losing thousands of dollars an hour. Can you help?
Please hold.
What do they say?
They put me on hold.
We gotta get this line back running now.
IT support, who are you holding for, please?
Oh, hi. I need help. My network is down. I've been on hold for over...
Sorry, wrong call. Please hold again.
Sound familiar? Don't let a network problem cost your business thousands of dollars. Turnkey is the champion of small businesses. For the price of a monthly car payment, Turnkey will fully protect your network with the most secure, up-to-date cyber protection, unlimited backup, unlimited 24/7 help desk support, and real-time threat hunting. All by world-class technicians who really care about helping people. Protect your small business today. Visit turnkey.pro today.
AM 560, The Answer.
What? Do you know this song?
No.
You don't?
I probably do. But oh yeah.
No, you think you know it.
No, I know the song. I just don't. I'm not singing it.
Got an email. I see a change in Trump. Amy and John, I see the calm resolve of a man who's come through the gauntlet and feels he has God on his side. And at his side is on his way to conquering the forces of evil. I'm so proud of him and proud that I was with him from the start.
I concur with
that.
That
is
statement.
Ron from Berwyn. So keep him coming. I think that's a wonderful thing.
It really is.
Kamala Harris took after Trump right away. I mean, she had her little coming out party at the White House. Then she flew to Delaware with all the pomp and circumstance and didn't go visit her boss or former boss or current boss, I guess current boss for now. But she went to the Wilmington campaign headquarters and immediately took out after Trump.
So in the days and weeks ahead, I, together with you, will do everything in my power to unite our Democratic Party, to unite our nation, and to win this election. You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as vice president, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain.
If I were her, I'd be careful about using the cheaters word, if you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
I do.
But that's not going to be effective. I mean,
No.
this whole E. Jean Carroll, I mean, they've tried to bankrupt him.
Yeah.
They have tried to put him in prison. I mean, think about it. He was a convicted felon waiting his sentencing when he was shot at.
Yeah.
Well, when he was shot.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, how much more can one man go through? And then
Listen.
he gets up there and he fights.
And he's overcome it all. Think about that. Everything that they've thrown at him since he's come down that escalator, Teflon Don. He's overcome
They
it
spied
all.
on him
Everything.
during his 2016 campaign. He got a visit from James Comey,
Yeah.
who visited him at Trump Tower to tell him about this
Who's
alleged
setting him up.
Russian collusion, which was a
And-
joke. And I knew that was a joke because of the whole that he was with prostitutes in a golden shower. That guy is anal retentive. He doesn't even like sleeping in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Because he's a germaphobe to an extent.
Did you hear the mob boss who said that no matter what they did, they can never get to Trump? They said because he hired a bunch of ex-FBI agents to encircle him, and the mob boss said that no matter what they tried to do, they could never get to Trump.
Interesting.
Speaks a lot of volumes to his character.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the leftist policies Kamala has taken. But first, let's head into that newsroom for news here at home and around the world. Another busy man on a busy news day. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and John, good morning. Former President Trump says mistakes were made at his Pennsylvania rally that ended up with an attempted assassination. Donald Trump thinks the Democrat Party kept President Biden as well, and all of his conditions under wraps.
You had people that lied to the American public. And I tell you what, you ought to take a look at his doctors, because his doctors keep giving him this wonderful report. I'm not a doctor, but I saw him the other day, was unable to get up the children's stairs going into Air Force One.
Monday night, Trump was joined by his vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, on Fox News. Vance saying if Democrats think Biden can't handle the campaign, then he may not be able to handle the presidency.
If Joe Biden can't run for president, he can't serve as president. And if they want to take him down because he's mentally incapable of serving, invoke the 25th Amendment.
Both men agreed it was very lucky that Trump wasn't more badly hurt in the attempted assassination. Vice President Kamala Harris has enough delegates now to receive the official Democrat presidential nomination. The vice president went on the attack against Donald Trump in her first on-camera campaign event.
She told her staff she will gladly put her record against Trump. She said as a former prosecutor, she went after sex offenders, then noted Trump was found liable in a sexual assault case. She was on a speakerphone with President Biden, who said leaving the 2024 race was the right thing to do. This is the first time the country has heard from Biden since his exit, and the first time Harris spoke publicly about the 2024 race. I'm Mark Mayfield.
CrowdStrike CEO George Kurtz is expected to testify to Congress about the cybersecurity company's role in sparking the widespread tech outage that grounded flights, knocked banks, and hospital systems offline. One person is dead following a fire in Buffalo Grove. The blaze broke out in a garage attached to a home in the 600 block of Woodhollow Lane. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Union members from the National Association of Letter Carriers says violence against workers on the job needs to stop.
How is this possible that people can walk up or drive up and shoot a woman that was clearly identified as a mail carrier in broad daylight, and you expect us to continue with business as usual?
Octavia Redmond, 48, was shot multiple times while on the job last Friday in the West Pullman neighborhood. Governor Pritzker is endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris to replace President Biden, as is Illinois U.S. Senator Dick Durbin.
She's smart, she's quick, she's proven herself as a prosecutor for the state of California, as a senator and now as a vice president. She has foreign policy experience. She is prepared for this responsibility and challenge.
Meantime, Durbin is also calling for the head of the Secret Service to step down. The Illinois Democrat called for the resignation of Kimberly Cheadle yesterday. Chicago sports, Cubs winners over the Brew Crew. 3-1 to open that series at Wrigley, while the White Sox are on an 8-game losing skid following a 4-3 loss to the Rangers. The news, a service of Blue Star Security. Support our police and hire the police to personally protect you and your business. Visit online at bluestarsecurityllc.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This radio station is always on, but sometimes you need more content that you can take with you anywhere. That's why we invented the SalemPodcastNetwork.com. You'll find all the great hosts on this radio station, plus a few more, like Charlie Kirk, Dinesh D'Souza, Trish Regan, Jenna Ellis, and Dennis and Julie. There's literally no end to what we can teach you. It's like radio on demand, and just like radio, it's always on. Go find out what you're missing. Download the app, SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Moon. I've been in the trading game for almost 20 years, and I just discovered the most powerful trading tool I've ever seen. So if you're trading stocks or options, then listen up. This new AI-powered trade finder can find you stocks to consider trading, which have had gains as high as 1,729% and have had nearly perfect win rates. It analyzes the entire stock market in seconds and pumps out a list of trades for you to consider every single morning. And the trades it finds can be potentially profitable regardless of which direction the market is moving. So if you want in on this action, listen closely. For a short amount of time, I'm opening up free access to some of these picks and giving you the chance to get top trade ideas from the AI Trade Finder every day for 100% free. Just text TRADE to 76626. Stop trying to find the right stocks to trade on your own. Just text TRADE to 76626 now and get access to the top trades our AI finds every single day. Text TRADE to 76626. Standard text and data rates may apply. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Text TRADE to 76626.
When you're in chronic pain, You're miserable to be around, and so are the people who have to watch you suffer. So stop it. Do something about it. Now's the time to be proactive and take care of yourself. And there's another solution other than surgery or drugs. Call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, they have a cutting-edge treatment that revitalizes your joints with your body's own healing process. So if you have arthritis or if you're in pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, back due to an injury, you need to call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation and get your life and mobility back. You know, I've been to one of their clinics. I met a few of their customers. They were smiling from ear to ear, so happy to have their mobility back, pain-free, without surgery. They have locations all across the Chicagoland area, including new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Call for a free consultation, 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955, 312-809-5955.
8:36. Let's get a check on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, and the Edens outbound has stop and go traffic this morning. Montrose to Church. Kennedy inbound 74 as you're traveling from Central to Montrose. You're on the brakes hard, and it is a long commute today compared to yesterday on the Kennedy coming inbound, and even outbound Kennedy travelers having a tough time between Chicago and the Edens Junction and 45 out to O'Hare. Stevenson, solid traffic between Harlem and Kedzie. Checking the Dan Ryan, Locals and Express. Both are troubled. 47th to the Burns Circle in the Locals, 47th to the Chinatown Feeder in the Express. Traffic, a service of Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections are not available in all states and situations. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Clouds and sun with a thunderstorm. High 86. Currently 72. Your next news update is at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Phone lines are open, 312-642-5600. It's our turnkey .pro answer line. And guess what? Soon, the text line will be up and running. Hi.
You disappeared.
I know, I'm down. I'm sitting down. I don't know why. I don't know how long this will last, me sitting down, but I do see, all I see is your Trump hat.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Hi, John Anthony
Trump
in
hat,
for
that's right.
Dan Proft. Are you having fun?
I am.
We always have a good time together.
Yeah, and I'll be on tomorrow with Charles Thomas.
Yes, that'll be great.
it's
So,
gonna
little
be
program note there.
Yeah.
Some family things I have to deal with, but all is good in the hood.
Now you just left me. That's okay.
No. This is great. We were just laughing about this. The child stairs on Air Force One. This is why we love Trump.
You had people that lied to the American public, and I tell you what, you ought to take a look at his doctors, because his doctors keep giving him this wonderful report. I'm not a doctor, but I saw him the other day, was unable to get up the children's stairs going into Air Force One.
Trump petty. He Dr. Petty. He's super petty.
But it's true, though. But I mean, lawmakers should press for more information on Biden's condition. Because a lot of you out there still think that he might have passed away. I don't. I mean, according to his schedule, he's returning to D.C. today, meeting with Netanyahu on Thursday.
Yeah, but you know what? He had a hard time getting up.
Oh,
but he had a
was
harder
sick.
time coming down. Normally, it's easier to go downstairs than it is to go upstairs.
He couldn't.
You're expending so much energy going up. You know.
I just wanted to get people to vision this. All right, so Biden said yesterday in the the live phone call into his campaign headquarters that he's not going anywhere, that he's going to campaign with Kamala. What does that look like? Does anybody want? I don't want to see him.
Well,
I might not have a choice in this.
He's still got a fan club, though. Joe Biden still has a fan club. He still has. I mean, he had 14 million people vote for him.
And 81 million.
Well, we know it wasn't 81 million, but that didn't actually vote, that wasn't stuffed mailboxes. But no, I digress. But he still has a fan club, Amy. People still like Joe Biden. He's that doddering old uncle.
He's going to go on the campaign trail with her. I mean, these are times that we have never seen in our life and may not ever see again.
Yeah.
And I was so grateful. I was in the car with my boys when the announcement was made that President Trump will not be seeking re-election. And I stopped the car.
You mean Biden?
Biden.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Biden. And I said, wait, children, this is something you may never see again in your lifetime. Somebody, an incumbent, not seeking re-election,
Right.
because polls came out that showed that he was losing.
Yeah.
So instead of taking it like a man,
Yeah.
like the Republicans did in the last election,
Yeah.
we knew Trump was behind in some of the polls, but we didn't turn on him.
No.
We respected democracy, and the Democrats did not do that.
Yeah, I think the left.
Shame on them.
I think the left also saw when that assassination attempt happened, they knew then that if they didn't do something, they didn't shift, they didn't change, that they would have been blown completely out of the water.
Trump was up
5th.
7 points
Yeah.
in Michigan.
Yeah, yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's
and
why
that
they made
poll
the
was
switch.
taken by the Detroit Free Press.
Yeah.
And now I don't know. I mean, I want to see polling, but I'm nervous. This is a new campaign.
I'm not.
This is a new era. You're not nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I as long as Trump doesn't, do something, because as we've seen, a campaign can shift in a matter of days, a matter of minutes, it can shift quickly. Trump keeps this same temperament he has, this same focus that he has. Trump will be the 47th president of the United States of America come November 5th.
312-642-5600. We're going to get your calls in a second, but let's do some flashback. The leftist positions that Kamala has taken over the years. Clip number 1. Wrong-headed and outdated to think police officers make communities safer. So she's the ultimate defunder of police.
It is outdated. It is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street. What we have to do, and what we will do, is reimagine public safety.
Oh, I love when they reimagine public safety. That just means less police officers and more social workers.
Yeah.
All right, getting rid of the filibuster.
So again, back to the United States Congress, here's my point. If they fail to act as President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal.
Anything for Mother Earth.
That's the biggest scandal in American history. That whole Green New, whatever, was $52 trillion is what it would, totality of it. $52 trillion is what it'll cost us. Wasn't that some outrageous number? Like that?
In the T's.
Yeah.
Okay, pronouns. Wait, I didn't check your pronouns when you came in today.
I don't want to cuss.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit. And
you know what else she forgot to say? Wearing a blue suit and a mask.
Yeah.
And even though she was 20 feet apart from somebody else.
Yeah, I don't play the pronouns. My daughter tried to do that. I said, we don't do pronouns in this house. We don't do pronouns in this house.
How did you handle that? Was she
I
poking the bear, or was she being
was.
serious?
She was. And I told her, I said, I named you, and I told her name. I said, that's who you are. And, because I do this thing with my daughters. I've always done it with my kids. Who are you? And they'll say that name. I was like, that's not who you are. That's your name. I say, but who you are. You're powerful. You're beautiful. You're strong. You're unique. Because I think this generation really doesn't know who they are. They only go by what other people and what people try to project onto them. There's no pronouns in my house. Sorry. If you're upset with that, that's my house.
This is a doozy when she was with my friend John Lemon about murderers being able to vote from prison. I think, when you kill somebody, you shouldn't have a right to cast a vote.
Take it seriously.
But people who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Okay. Remember, this is a great one, too. When she was explaining the Ukraine-Russian conflict and talking to people like they were in kindergarten.
If you're watching any level of news, even social media, you're seeing everything that's going on right now in the Ukraine. Break it down in layman's terms for people who don't understand what's going on and how can this directly affect the people of the United States.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
Okay, here's another doozy. Plastic straws, because she's, the climate queen.
Leaders have to lead, and
plastic
we can
straws
adapt.
are a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should. Yes. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. It's really difficult to drink out of a paper straw when if you're just, if you don't gulp it down immediately, it starts to bend.
Yes.
And then, the little thing catches it. And then, so we got to kind of perfect that one a little bit more.
So you'd ban it, but rely on innovation.
I mean, we got it. Yeah, innovation is a process, right? You don't just do it. Innovation is a process, but let's encourage innovation, and I think we could do a little bit better than some of those flimsy plastic straws. But we do need to ban the plastic.
All right, we're going to have much more with Senator.
Her laugh is her tell. A lot of people have certain tells about when they're nervous or when they're lying. Her laugh, that's her default. She reflects. She goes back to that when she's lying or when she's nervous.
Good observation.
Yeah.
Lastly.
At what point does the administration say, you know what, this strategy isn't working, we're going to change strategies? 6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration to change course, to change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down.
What the hell is she saying?
That was talking about the border and changing policies on the border. And they're not slowing things down. In case you haven't heard, our good friends over at KVIA in El Paso, there's 3,000. There's a caravan coming up right now. They're in southern Mexico, and they're making their way up here. And guess what?
What?
They're probably going to be shipped to Chicago.
Oh, gosh.
Just in time for the DNC.
Right.
Which is just a few weeks away. 312-642-5600. Let's go to Glenn in Orlando. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I think something happened to Biden on Saturday night that caused him to change. And I'm thinking about the scene in The Godfather where the guy wakes up and there's a head of a horse in his bed.
Oh.
And so I'm picturing Nancy Pelosi lifelike image in a bikini in his bed.
Make him an offer he can't refuse.
That was a signal.
Yeah. Well, Politico said you can do this the easy way or the hard way. And I think there was some horse trading going on. Jill still gets to go to the Olympics this Friday. Opening ceremonies are Friday. That's very important to her because she likes to have her power and her plane and her people and her fancy dresses and everything else. And there's got to be some other horse trades and that he can still campaign.
Yeah.
And that he's not stepping down.
And he stays out of jail.
Yeah.
He stays out of jail.
Thanks, Glenn, for the phone call. Appreciate it. Rich in Indian Head Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Amy. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
We have to get a few things straight here. Number one, it's not Harris that got all this money raised. This was money that was already there from big donors to get Biden out from running for the presidency. Let's get that straight right up front. It's not because she's running. And the number two thing is how she was such a great prosecutor. Well, let's go back to when she was running for president and Tulsi Gabbard told everybody what her record was. So is she going to run on that? Is she going to run on her record? And one last thing is Trump should just stick to the policies and not personally attack her, on how she looks, her hair, or her weight, or whatever it might be. He's got to stick to the policies. If he does that, I don't think she has a chance because she can't prosecute anything or debate anybody.
Right.
She just doesn't have the brain to do that. She'd be laughing through the whole thing. I'm going to call her Tickle Me Kamala. That's my name for her.
Oh, that's good.
You guys have a good day.
I agree with what he said.
What's that?
I agree with what he said. I would hope Trump doesn't make it a personal attack.
No, that will not fly well with the ladies.
Let the dark money do that. The dark money's going to do all that. The dark money, the people that are out there with the PACs, they're going to come after her.
Oh, they've already
relentlessly.
started.
Yeah. Trump, keep it professional, look presidential, and just attack on policy, because there's not, name one policy that they've done or they've introduced or bill that they've passed that has helped this American country. Name one. I
can't name one.
Exactly. Not one.
They have no accomplishments to tout.
Well, to the left, they have their accomplishment, but I think people in the middle of the road and center right, they look at this administration and they see just how unfruitful it has been.
Jack in Northwest Indiana, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hello.
Guys, good morning. You had a segment that talked about the VP nomination process, and if I were those individuals, I would think long and hard about just accepting the nomination. They likely will, but this could be very career limiting if they have further aspirations down the road, because this ticket, this sort of salt and pepper ticket, just to sort of pacify everybody, if you lose and you lose big, keep in mind she was polling worse than Biden as it relates to head-to-head competition versus Trump.
1%.
Yeah, it's going to be her biggest decision who she picks for VP, because it's the first decision that she'll make about really what her administration's going to look like and how she's going to govern.
Yeah.
So
it reminds me. I think it was Mondale and Ferraro way back when. Whatever happened to Geraldine Ferraro? It's one of those things where you've got one shining moment, but then you flame out. And those guys, if they have any future, they need to be thinking long and hard. And real quick,
same with Sarah Palin too.
Yeah.
Recent polls, I think there was a poll in Georgia as well as New Hampshire that showed her polling worse than Biden was polling in those respective states. So things can change. I'm sure she'll get a bump, but real-time polling would suggest that even in those states, and Georgia's in play, she's doing worse than he is. So spend all the money you want, Democrats, go for it, but we've got a few months to really bring out all the nasty stuff that you guys have been referencing
3 weeks
this morning.
Yeah.
We have 3 weeks.
Trump's approach: policy. Don't
get dragged into saying anything about her looks. I mean, she's not a bad-looking woman, but that laugh is just. But don't go there.
Yeah.
Keep your nose dry. Keep your nose powdered, as people say. Larry in Elmhurst, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. Hey, you know how you know this is a setup? Because if that bullet would have killed Trump, Biden would have never jumped out of this race.
Didn't I say that?
John Anthony said that, during the break.
Yeah, and I think she'll pick Willie Brown for a run.
Oh, hey-oh. Well, she better not bring up any cheating scandals, because that could backfire in her face real fast. Scott on the Northwest Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, kids. I want to just put my 2 cents in that if you're not paying taxes, you don't vote. Keep it simple.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I'm worried about all these people that I see panhandling on every corner in Chicago that they're going to be able to register to vote.
I'll say this about paying taxes. Can we go back to the Tea Party when they fought because of taxation without representation? We tax too damn much. Let's get rid of some of these taxes that they're throttling.
Then they have
on
to
the
cut
people.
spending, and what do they want to do?
Guess what? That's ideal.
All right, Jay in Lake Geneva, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hello.
Hi, I think it was great what you told your sons, because we really are in historical times. This kind of feels like 1968 all over again. I was just a baby learning how to walk, but I've heard about it, and wow, it sounds like it was just nuts. I mean, do you really think they're going to go with Kamala? And they got this convention coming up next month right there in Chicago. I can't believe they're going to go with her.
Yeah, she got the delegates overnight while you guys were sleeping, and 24 governors endorsed her.
What's his name?
Who?
The caller.
I think his name was Jay.
Hey, Jay, can we come up to Lake Geneva with you while the convention is going on? I want to go with Jay.
At least LBJ back in 1968 gave the Democratic Party time to build a ticket, because he did it in March, but at least he went in front of the country and had a prime time address.
Accordingly, I shall not seek, and I will not accept, the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
Jack in Whiting, Indiana, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hello.
Good morning. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
What concerns me is, no matter who they pick, all these illegal aliens, 10, 15 million, they're going to put them in swing states. And I keep telling all my friends, come October, they're going to find a way for these people to vote. And that's what's scary.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
So,
because in certain states,
your
if
thoughts
you,
on that one?
yeah, if you apply for a driver's license, they sign you up, they register
Here
you
in
to
Illinois.
vote. Yeah.
Well, here in Illinois, as an illegal, you can have a driver's license that looks eerily same. I mean,
Are they giving these? I say these people. Are they giving them driver's examinations?
they have to.
Because my copper friend said the biggest problem we have right now with the illegals,
Understanding
besides
law.
the few who break a police officer's
Yeah.
hand on Elston and Belmont and some other thugs, he said a lot of them we pull them over for driving violations because
Yeah.
they don't know the rules
Yeah,
of the road.
they don't.
And I swear I was with an illegal the other day. He was just plowing through. He'd roll through stop lights,
Yeah.
not stop signs.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
man, that doesn't work. You're
Right.
going to kill somebody.
Exactly.
But nobody cares. They just care about getting
And
votes.
that's not just Latinos, or that's people from all over the world.
Oh, Senegal, you're right, Africa, you name it.
Africans,
Tom,
European.
Blue Island. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, buddy.
What's up, bro?
Hey, so two things real quick. Earlier, Greg from Schaumburg had called in reference to Kamala Harris pardoning Trump as if somehow that would be some kind of center road. First of all, you have to accept a pardon. No one is a better politician than Donald Trump. He would never accept that. But moreover, Donald Trump is 78 years old. He took a week off because he got shot in the ear of being President Trump. He came back Saturday as President Trump. He started hitting Biden and Kamala over the head. He's going to hit Kamala over the head with the sledgehammer, just like he did everybody else. And my prediction for a nickname is Cackling Kamala.
Okay. And Tom, he didn't take a week off. He got shot Saturday. He was at the
Monday.
RNC on Monday.
Monday night.
He's a warrior.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If it's time for a new roof, your siding's looking old, you need new windows, gutters, or a reliable restoration company, trust me, AAA Roofing Contractors is who to call. They're the real deal. And speaking of deals, AAA offers a wide range of discounts, including military and healthcare provider discounts. And due to the recent storm, AAA Roofing Contractors is giving out free inspections in your neighborhood. The storm may have caused a lot of damage to your property, so please don't hesitate to reach out. AAA Roofing Contractors specializes specifically in insurance restoration claims. They're here to help you every step of the way so you get what you deserve. They value every shingle customer. In fact, they make sure clients are 100% satisfied. Schedule a free home improvement consultation now. Call 847-730-4026 or book online at arcroofinginc.com. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows. Family-owned AAA does it all and does it right, and are insurance specialists. That's 847-730-4026. arcroofinginc.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Where did the time go? Thanks so much for making us part of your morning, part of your lives. Thanks to our callers. Real quick, let's get Bob from Buffalo Grove in here. Hi, Bob. How are you?
Hi, Amy. Hi, John. Real quick, did you catch JD's rally speech yesterday?
Yes, we did. He was back in Middleton, Ohio, in his hometown. Yep.
Yeah, he's Trump's secret weapon, and I'm going to enjoy him. It's just a shame he can't debate Kamala, but it'll be interesting, his debate with whoever it's going to be.
All right, thanks,
Bob. You have a great time.
You too. Yeah, here he is.
So now President Trump's going to get to debate her?
Attempt.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but this time Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle will not be there.
She needs to leave immediately. Should have happened yesterday, needs to happen today.
Republican Congressman Byron Donalds tells Fox Democrats agree, saying Cheadle did not give many answers about security lapses during yesterday's hearing. This as House leaders set up a bipartisan task force to investigate the Trump assassination attempt that was 10 days ago. The former president tells Fox.
Who would have thought this was going to be happening? But it happened, and I got very lucky. Or God. I think it was God, actually.
The former President Trump's calling his new Democratic opponent, Vice President Harris, dumb as a rock. She'll rally today in Milwaukee after becoming the presumptive nominee just a day after President Biden dropped out of the race.
After securing the backing of the 1,976 pledged delegates needed to win the party nomination, it was Texas and the vice president's home state of California that